Back to the Metrodome, everybody. I'm Jeff Hullinger. Since 1970, no conference championship game has featured two teams with a better combined one-loss record than the two participants in today's NFC championship game, including playoff games. The Vikings at 16-1, the Falcons at 15-2 are a combined 31-3 this year. That total is two more wins than the next highest combined total at 29 in the 1992 NFC title game between Dallas and San Francisco. And now we look at midfield as both teams come out with their captains and their honorary captains, the Vikings in their purple uniforms with white pants and purple helmets, Falcons in their silver pants trimmed in red and black, white jerseys with red numbers, and of course black helmets. The officials today, our referee is Walt Coleman. Our umpire is Ron Botchett. Our head linesman is Mark Baltz. The line judge is Byron Boston. Field judge is Bill Lovett. And let's go to the ref right now.
Atlanta, you're the visitors. Who's going to call it? He's called heads. It is a heads. Atlanta has won the toss. They'll receive. Good luck, Doc. Atlanta won the toss and will receive. Good luck, man.
So the Falcons have won the toss and they will receive, as you hear, and that's some good news from the Falcon perspective to try and get their offense out first and to try to get something going, as opposed to putting the ball in the hands of Randall Cunningham and this record-breaking offense. You saw what they did against the Arizona Cardinals last week, where they just marched from the beginning of the football game and really never stopped until the end, so the Falcons have a chance. Cunningham last week was 17-27, 236 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and a rating of 112.6. It has been that kind of season for Randall Cunningham, the ultimate in reclamation projects, given up for dead. He was working in construction involved with linoleum and tile after sitting out for a year, and then Denny Green gave him a shot to come back to the NFL, and he has made the most of every opportunity that has been given to him. Question is, how will the Falcons fare against this big-time offense today? The Vikings offense is number 11 in rushing, number 1 in pass, and overall they're number 2 in the NFL behind San Francisco. Falcons defense number 2 against the rush, number 21 against the pass, and overall they are number 8. So they will have their hands full today. Vikings will be kicking off from right to left across your radio dial as we get set to check out Gary Anderson. And Anderson, of course, is the legendary kicker who hasn't missed one all year long. Mitch Berger does the kicking off for the Vikings, so he will get the opportunity to slam it back toward the Falcons. The deep man for the Falcons, of course, is Tim Dwight. You know about that. Elijah Williams is also there as well. We are ready. We are set to go. This is the NFC Championship game on WGSD. Here's the kick. It is a towering, deep kick. Dwight takes it 7 yards back in his end zone. 5, 10, 15, turns it to the outside, straight ahead to the 21, and tackled at the 23-yard line. Tackle by Corey Fuller. It is a return of 30 yards by Tim Dwight. Quarterback for the Falcons is Chris Chandler. That you know, the 11-year pro out of Washington. Offensive line, Bob Whitfield, Calvin Collins, Robbie Toback, Gene Williams, and Ephraim Salam. The backs and receivers, Jamal Anderson, Brian Kozlowski are the running back and fullback. Tony Martin, Terrence Mathis, and O.J. Santiago are the receivers. It's 1st and 10 now from the 23-yard line. Martin to the left, Mathis to the right. I formation behind Chris Chandler. The crowd is loud. Chandler will throw. Near side has his man. It is complete to Mathis, and Mathis is knocked out of bounds at the 33.5-yard line. It's a gain of 10 yards. Tackle by Corey Fuller. The Minnesota defensive line, John Randall, is hurting. He's a defensive end. Tony Williams, Jerry Ball, and Derek Alexander are up front. The linebackers are Dwayne Rudd, Ed McDaniel, and Dixon Edwards. The secondary, Hitchcock, Thomas Griffith, and Fuller. Second and a little less than a yard from the 32-yard line. Offset I behind Chris Chandler. Now Kozlowski in motion to the far side of the football field. The give is to Jamal Anderson. Anderson churning and spinning. He has enough for the first down, but there is a penalty marker at the 37-yard line, the near side of the football field. Tackle by Jerry Ball. Offsides against Minnesota, so the Falcons will get the first down. And Jamal Anderson with his first carry of the day. You can see how hard, how difficult it will be up front.
94, defense, 5 yards, first down.
Tony Williams is called for the offsides. Foge Fazio is the defensive coordinator for the Vikings. Penalty yards for Minnesota last week. They had 9 of them for 38 yards against the Cardinals. Mathis is split to the far side. That's the left side. Tony Martin is split to the right. That would be the near side. Offset I behind Chris Chandler. It's 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line for the Falcons. Now Mathis in motion to the near side. Play action. Chandler setting. Has time. Going far side of the field. A one-handed grab by Terrence Mathis. Far side of the football field. Enough for a Falcons first down. What a grab. A pickup of 17. Jeff Van Note, welcome to the booth. And what a great way to get your baptism here.
Out of breath a little bit.
That's all right. Keep breathing. That will take the breath out of you. Enjoyed seeing you down there on the field. It must have been stirring.
It was interesting just to see the old guys. It's exciting. And what a catch by Terrence Mathis. One-handed. Great catch. Great block by Kozlowski, picking up McDaniel, the blitz and middle linebacker.
1st and 10 from the 43 of Minnesota. Tony Martin to the right. Terrence Mathis is to the left. I formation behind Chris Chandler. Chandler on the give, left side. Jamal Anderson looking for some running room and tripped up at the 38-yard line by the right cornerback. That is Jimmy Hitchcock. It is a gain of 2, so 2nd and 8 from the 41. Jeff, we talked about it last night. We've talked about it for a couple of days. The hope was the Falcons would be able to get the ball on the kickoff and be able to establish something to try and take the crowd out of it, and also the Minnesota defense.
Right, Jeff. You want to play from ahead, keep the game in perspective. You don't want to be too far behind against Minnesota. You certainly don't want them ahead, but this is a great opportunity.
2nd and 8 from the 41 of the Minnesota Vikings for Chandler. I formation behind Chandler. Mathis right, Martin left. Chandler will throw. Looking, near side going long, and overshoots Terrence Mathis. Pretty good coverage by the Vikings. They had double coverage back there on Terrence Mathis. The combination of Corey Fuller and Ramos McDonald on the near side of the football field. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Play a lot of zone coverage, talking about the Vikings, and you have to be very patient with it. The underneath stuff, the running game, because they're going to play a lot of zone. They're not going to blitz an awful lot, except when they do send the middle linebacker McDaniel. He's 2nd on the team with 7.5 sacks.
All right, so this is the Falcons with their 1st to 3rd down of this ball game. 4 wide receivers. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Chris Chandler working out of the shotgun formation. Here comes the pressure. He will throw near side. First down, Falcons, Tony Martin. Tony Martin at the 28-yard line of the Vikings, and the Falcons convert. It's a gain of 14 yards, so the Falcons are moving the football right down the field. Chris Chandler's numbers now, 3 of 4 on this drive, for a total of 40 yards.
Vikings not going to give you the big play if they can. They're going to play well off of you. They're not going to press coverage. Ramos McDonald, he's in a zone here, and he's backing up all the way. A lot of room underneath.
This is the 6th play of the drive. Mathis left, Martin right. I formation on 1st and 10 from the 26 of Minnesota. Vikings showing blitz. Mathis in motion. Right side is the give to Jabal. Now taking it to the left side and staying on his feet and getting up to the 23-yard line. Robert Griffith on the tackle along with Orlando Thomas. It is a pickup of 4 for Jamal. He got it on the right side, and there was no place there. It was bottled up, and then he sort of skips a little bit like a rock off of a pond, trying to find some room to the left side of the football field, and for just a moment, it looked like he had some room, but it closed very quickly.
Well, they brought their linebackers up. They really walked them up, Edwards and Rudd. Nice job by Santiago of rolling Randall down.
4 wide receivers for the Falcons on 2nd and 6 from the 22-yard line. Single setback is Jamal Anderson. Long count for Chandler. Chandler short, drop quick out left side. Tony Martin complete. Falcons first down. It's to the 13-yard line, and this drive continues with a nice mix of run and pass.
There it is again, the soft coverage by the Vikings. Robert Griffith, he's going to lay back a little bit short, playing like a linebacker. He's a fine football player, 5 interceptions on the year, and he can cover the slot very, very well. But that's a very nice pitch and catch from Chandler.
Pickup of 9, 1st and 10 from the 13. Martin left, Mathis right. I formation for Chandler. We're in the first quarter, first drive for the Falcons. The give, Jamal Anderson, right side. Jamal, some running room, still churning, still moving. He's to the 5, and that's where he is brought down. Good pickup by Jamal Anderson, about 7.5. Corey Fuller and Robert Griffith on the hit for the Minnesota Vikings. So that'll mean second and a long 1.5 yards. Pretty close to 2 is what we will call it. Ball now spotted at the 5-yard line.
Gaping hole, Jeff, on the right side. Gene Williams really did a job on Jerry Ball, or rather Tony Williams. I can't remember who was in there, but a gaping hole on the right side.
Mathis left, Martin right, offset I formation behind Chris Chandler. Now in motion, it's Mathis to the left side. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson cuts it back and is tackled at the 3. Tackle by Robert Griffith. And it is very, very quiet inside the Metrodome, Jeff. There is what you're talking about.
Well, you want to keep it quiet. It's deafening noise. They've got this sound system really turned up. The public address announcer is very, very loud. The crowd, though, really gets into it. It was shocking down on the sideline how loud it was.
First down for the Falcons, so it's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. It is the 10th play of the drive. 3 tight ends for the Falcons. I formation behind Chandler. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Here's the pitch. Right side, Jamal Anderson met at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Stellan Collinet is there, the left end. He is able to make the stop. In fact, it will be a loss of 1. So 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Trying to get a little bit wide, too, on a little bit of a pitch. It's tough to run against a defense that has a lot of speed. That's what the Vikings have. You got to maybe almost take it right at the heart of it, and then you got to get moving on that big nose guard, Jerry Ball.
Falcons with 3 tight ends, Santiago, Ed Smith, Bob Hallen lining up as a tight end as well. 2nd and goal from the 4. I formation of Kozlowski and Anderson. Anderson the call left side, and it jams up in a hurry. Back to the line of scrimmage, so the Falcons are looking at 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Tackle by Robert Griffith. And the big nose tackle, Jerry Ball, 6'1", 340 pounds, now in his 12th year out of SMU.
Yeah, Ball does a nice job of eluding Robbie Tobeck. He's not known as a great penetrator, more of a stand-up guy, but this time he swims Robbie Tobeck and comes around from the backside.
Falcons, one of the best teams in the National Football League in the red zone. Mathis and Martin now are split. Martin to the left, Mathis to the right, 3rd and goal from the 5. Listen to the crowd. It comes alive. Chandler will throw across the middle. Complete. Touchdown Falcons. Jamal Anderson out of the backfield. And here is the Dirty Bird dance making its debut in the upper Midwest inside the Metrodome. A touchdown of 5 yards, and the Falcons are on the board.
Huge score, Jeff. If they hold the Falcons to a field goal from 1st and 3, that is for Minnesota a little bit of a victory after that drive. Huge touchdown.
So Morton Anderson in with the point after attempt, a perfect strike as Jamal was racing toward the center of the end zone, and the great strike from Chris Chandler, and the Falcons lead 6-0. Morton Anderson is in with Dan Straczynski holding, trying to make this point after attempt and make it a 7-0 game. The snap, the hold, the kick, it's on the way, it's up, and it is good. 8 minutes, 21 seconds left in the opening quarter of play from the Metrodome in Minnesota. The Falcons 7, the Vikings 0. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. Falcons go 12 plays, 77 yards, 6 minutes and 39 seconds. And Anderson, the 5-yard catch from Chris Chandler. Chandler in that drive, 5 of 6 and 54 yards. He was sharp as a tack. Let's go to Pete Davis along the Falcon sideline. Peter?
There's a lot of stunned looks and a lot of blonde people in the crowd down here. It's amazing how quiet it can actually get in the Metrodome. Back to you, Jeff.
Morton Anderson will kick off. Falcons kicking off from left to right across your radio dial. Morton Anderson is the man and has been enjoying a terrific year as far as his kickoffs go. He has been booming them and blasting them most of the season. The deep man for Minnesota is the versatile David Palmer. You've seen him on special teams. You also have seen him play quarterback, Jeff, against the Arizona Cardinals last week, where they line him up in that shotgun, and he comes flaming out to the right like I was going to make some sort of fire analogy. He comes shooting out.
He can play. And the versatility, it forces you maybe to defend him a different way than you want to.
Here's Anderson, and the kickoff. It is high and straight down the middle. Palmer 5 yards deep in the end zone. He will down it. And the Minnesota Vikings will take over the football, led by Randall Cunningham. We've got 8 minutes and 15 seconds left in the opening quarter of play. Falcons lead the Vikes 7-0. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons. News Radio WGST. Today's game is brought to you by the Home Depot. 8 minutes, 15 seconds are left here in the opening quarter of play from the Metrodome in Minneapolis. I'm Jeff Hullinger along with Jeff Van Note and Pete Davis. Falcons 7, Vikings nothing. Our first look at that high-powered offense for Minnesota. They will go with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the near side. Robert Smith is the single setback. In motion is Greg DeLong. Here is the give to Robert Smith, left side, bottled up in a hurry. Pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards. Shane Dronette is there, the right tackle. Will set the offense for you. Randall Cunningham, the highest-rated quarterback in the league at 106.0. The offensive line, a big one. Todd Stussy, it's Randall McDaniel, Jeff Christie, David Dixon. The receivers, of course, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. And we will set the Falcons defense for you coming up. 2nd and 7 now from the 23-yard line. Receivers to the right and to the left. Play action for Cunningham. He will throw. Fires it out to the right side to Randy Moss. Complete. 33-yard line. It's enough for a Vikings first down. A gain of 9 yards. There is Randy Moss. The defensive line for the Falcons, Chuck Smith, Shane Dronette, Travis Hall, and Lester Archambault. The linebackers, Cornelius Bennett, Jesse Tuggle, and Henri Crockett. The Falcons defensive backs, Michael Booker, Eugene Robinson, William White, and Ray Buchanan. It is 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line of Minnesota. 3 wide receivers for the Vikings. Chris Carter is motion to the near side. Cunningham, the straight drop, he wants to throw. He'll swing it out to his big tight end. It's Andrew Glover, and Glover gets up across to the 44-yard line, tackled by Randy Fuller. It is a gain of 6, 2nd and 4 from the 38.
Glover caught 35 passes this year, came over from Oakland. He's an 8-year veteran, but you can see the versatility of their offense. Falcon open up a little bit of a zone defense so far against this Viking attack, but a little dump off to the tight end because everybody is downfield covering the 3 wide receivers.
Double tight end set for the Vikings. Carter to the right, Moss to the left. 2nd and 4 from the 38 of Minnesota. Robert Smith is the single setback. He gets the call right side, and there is no place to go. Chuck Smith makes sure that Smith has nowhere to go. Chuck with his first tackle of the afternoon, and that'll bring up the first 3rd down for the Vikings. 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 now from the 39-yard line.
That's a nice job by both ends. Lester Archambault submarining Stringer, Corey Stringer, the big right tackle, and then Chuck refusing to be cut blocked by the tight end, Greg DeLong, and making that tackle in the backfield.
3rd and 3 from the 39. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. David Palmer now is into the ball game. He is split to the right side. Randall Cunningham will throw the deep drop going long up top for Randy Moss, and it's incomplete. Penalty marker is down. Penalty marker is down around the 32-yard line. Ray Buchanan was working Moss. It is that play they like to do so much, where Cunningham goes long and throws the ball somewhat short, and the receiver comes back to the ball, and that's where Buchanan got in trouble.
Yeah, just you go down, and I'll pitch it up in the air to you with that 6'4" height.
Pass interference, 34, defense, first down.
Jeff Ray's complaining he wants a pull, a grab of his jersey by Moss. And I'm looking at a replay. Moss has got a hand on him, so it's both of them pushing each other. Ray gets caught last at the end with a shove.
It is a 29-yard penalty. Moss is split to the right. Chris Carter is split to the left. Robert Smith, single setback behind Randall Cunningham. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line of the Falcons. Cunningham will throw. Looking, going long toward the end zone. Randy Moss is out there. Touchdown. Touchdown, Vikings. Moss beat Michael Booker. What a great pass and a marvelous fingertip catch by Randy Moss. 9 straight games with a touchdown reception, and the Vikings have struck very, very quickly. A 31-yard touchdown pass from Randall Cunningham to Randy Moss, the #1 draft pick out of Marshall.
There's that big playability. Booker playing off. He's supposed to get a little bit of help inside William White. That ball is thrown deep, and that's just a sensational catch and a footstep by Moss.
Gary Anderson for the point after attempt. It is up, and it is good. So with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter, the Falcons and the Vikings are tied at 7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons. News Radio WGST. The Vikings, 8 plays, 80 yards, 2:48 in time. Randy Moss, a 31-yard touchdown catch from the arm of Randall Cunningham, courtesy of the 29-yard interference penalty on Ray Big Play Buchanan. And I don't know about that call, Jeff. That's a tough interference call.
Well, they were both pushing. Just looking at the replay, it's hard to see exactly what that judge is looking at when he's looking at both of them. But, you know, last guy pushing maybe gets caught in an incident like that. I don't think he'll get many calls here at home.
Mitch Berger with the kickoff. It is a driving kick to the end zone. It hits the crossbar and bounces up into the stands. You know, I just saw a replay, the Randy Moss touchdown, Jeff. He did not get both of his feet in. 1, 2, and out. So the Minnesota Vikings get a bit of a break there. They get the touchdown. 5:27 left in the opening quarter of play. Falcons and Vikings 7-7. This is the home of the Falcons. News Radio WGST. Today's game is brought to you by Ingles Supermarket. So both clubs have each had the ball once here in the opening quarter, and both teams have responded by going on long drives for touchdowns. Falcons have the football, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Mathis to the right, Martin to the left. Offset I formation behind Chandler. Play action, here comes the blitz. Dumps it out to Brian Kozlowski, near side, and thrown out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5, tackled by Dixon Edwards, the linebacker. And the Falcons, with that play, quiet this big crowd a little bit, and that's going to be very, very important all afternoon long, Jeff.
Whenever they get an 8-man front, they creep Robert Griffith up there. Very difficult to run against. You got to move those 2 inside tackles. Williams and Ball are both short, squatty bodies, and therefore you got to throw the ball. Nice call.
Ed McDaniel limping. He is out of the ball game. 2nd and 5 from the 25 for Chandler. Mathis in motion to the near side. Blitz being shown by the Vikings. Give Jamal Anderson left side. Penalty marker is down near side and far side. The penalty will be against Robert Griffith, in all probability, the strong safety. It looked like he was offsides.
Definitely offside. Creeped up before the snap count. Jerry Ball, you ought to call on him all day long. He hugs the ball way too much.
When you're over 300 pounds, you hug a lot of things way too much, like maybe the buffet table.
Well, he's a run stopper. You're right. He is a huge guy.
Offside. 24, defense, 5 yards, results in a first down.
It is indeed Robert Griffith, the strong safety, who is showing blitz. We take a look along the Vikings sideline right now. They are working on the knee of Ed McDaniel, and that is a big loss if he can't come back. He's the middle linebacker and the club's leading tackler. He had 155 tackles during the regular season. So the Falcons have a first down. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of Atlanta. Martin to the right, Mathis to the left. Offset I formation behind Chris Chandler. Vikings jump off sides. Jamal Anderson gets the call, and Anderson is dancing, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost about 1.5 yards, but I think this penalty is going to go against John Randall. Randall looked like he came offside that time, unless he was drawn.
Offside.
You heard offside, so that'll go against Minnesota. Here's the call.
Offside, 93, defense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
John Randall is called, the 9-year pro out of Texas A&I. He hurt his knee last week against the Arizona Cardinals. He is not 100%. The projection was that he might even not be able to play a lot today, Jeff, but so far, so good for John Randall, as he looks like he's moving around pretty well.
I watched him in warm-ups. That's all for the newspapers, all of that about he couldn't play. He was only going to play nickel. He is in excellent shape, and you can saw his quickness there. He's got 80 quarterback pressures. You got to put a hat on him.
1st and 5 from the 35 of the Falcons. Martin and Mathis split to the left side. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson right side. Anderson a little bit more running room this time, up to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4, tackled by Corey Fuller, the left cornerback, who was the 4-year pro out of Florida State, 5'10", 210 pounds. And I'll tell you what, Jeff, that's what you want. You want to get that isolation by a smaller cornerback on Jamal Anderson, because he will bust it.
Yeah, you want to get him in the secondary as much as possible. Losing McDaniel, Bursic is going to be in there at the backup middle linebacker. I think Kavasuma Mays was a rookie out of North Carolina. They like to play in there. He has been deactivated for this game. Bursic better on special teams. Big advantage for the Falcons running against him.
2nd and 1 from the 39. Double tight end set for the Falcons. Mathis in motion to the far side. I formation, left side give. It's to Jamal Anderson. 1st down Falcons. Ed McDaniel on the tackle, so he checks back into the ball game with his sore knee and all. And let's see exactly where they are going to spot this ball, Jeff. It looks like it's going to be about at the 41-yard line, as both of these clubs are sort of mixing it up a little bit, the interior lines.
Well, I like it the way it's going for the Falcons right now. You don't like what they did with the Vikings had the ball on offense, but right now, once again, they're driving the ball, mixture of run and pass. Bob Whitfield just put Tony Williams on his back that time, and they are mixing up a little bit, but Chandler's getting them to jump off sides twice.
1st and 10 from the Atlanta 41. Falcons have 8 first downs in this game. Play action. Chandler will throw. Here comes the pressure. Gets it away to Tony Martin in Vikings territory. What a shot he took at the 42-yard line by Orlando Thomas. Boy, oh boy, you talk about a hit, and Martin hangs on to that football. First down, Falcons, a gain of 19.
Yeah, nice job by Chris Chandler. He knew he was going to get hit. Ball slips off inside, and Chandler takes a hit about the same time he delivers it to Tony Martin. Great pitch and catch, though, by Chandler and Martin.
The numbers on Chris Chandler, he's been sharp, 7 of 8, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. Mathis right, Martin left, I formation. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of the Vikings. 7-7, Atlanta and Minnesota. Now it's Mathis in motion to the far side. Vikings showing blitz. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson left side, back to the line of scrimmage. And that is about it. Robert Griffith on the stop for Minnesota. They are keying and centering all over Jamal Anderson right now, Jeff. And as his reputation begins to spread around the National Football League, the defenses will not.
Well, they want to keep Minnesota off the field, and everybody knows that they're going to run Jamal Anderson. You can't have whiffs. Left guard that time, Cal Collins, he whiffed, missed cleanly on Tony Williams. He's in the backfield. Play has no place to go when they get that kind of penetration.
Martin to the left, Mathis to the right. 2nd and 11 from the 41 of Minnesota. Offset I formation behind Chris Chandler. Here comes the blitz on Chandler. Gets the ball away to Tony Martin and overshoots him as Martin was running toward the post. Jimmy Hitchcock is there, but if the ball is thrown properly, Martin is going to be able to make that catch.
Should have made a catch still, I think. He knew he was going to take a hit once again. He's got inside position on Hitchcock. Good pickup blitz of the blitzing strong safety, Robert Griffith, by Jamal Anderson. And he goes up. He's got his hands on it, Jeff. I think he should make his catch.
A minute and 21 seconds are left in the opening quarter. 7-7 game. Jamal Anderson and Harold Green now are the running backs. Martin, Ronnie Harris, and Terrence Mathis check in on 3rd and 11 from the 41. Out of the shotgun, swings it to Harold Green, and Green loses the football. Do the Vikings have it? They say that they do. Now we wait for the official word. There is a scramble for the football. Ed McDaniel may have it. We still continue to wait for the officials, as John Randall indicating that Minnesota does have the football. Coming out of the backfield was Harold Green. And if Green stays on his feet, he's got an excellent chance for a Falcon first down. But he trips, he falls, and loses the football in the process. The fumble recovery is made by Ed McDaniel, and the ball is taken over by the Minnesota Vikings at the 41-yard line of the Vikes. 1 minute and 8 seconds are left in the opening quarter. A play from the Metrodome. Falcons 7, Vikings 7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons. News Radio WGST. 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Falcons and Vikings all even. It's 7-7. Harold Green has just turned over the football in Vikings territory. He came out of the backfield as Chris Chandler was operating on 3rd down out of the shotgun. He tripped on the artificial turf, and as he tripped, he also lost the handle on the ball. So that's where we are right now. Chris Carter to the left, Randy Moss to the right. Offset I formation behind Randall Cunningham. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. Play action, Randall, deep drop going long up top. Randy Moss is out there, and it is incomplete. Pretty good defense by Ray Buchanan, who had a shot on the football there for a moment. Again, Randall Cunningham doing what he and Moss like to do so much of, and that is on those long patterns to throw it up and let the receiver come back toward it.
Ray gets away with a little one here, too. He shoves him, and it's clear even from up here in the booth. You can see it in the replay. He shoves him, but he does a nice job of turning and looking for the ball after he does it. So they're not going to call some interference. You're going to get a little bit of jostling between those two all day long just by the style of play of Minnesota.
5 defensive backs for the Falcons, 3 wide receivers for Minnesota. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Randall Cunningham on the quick throw. It's to Matthew Hatchett, and Hatchett is into territory of the Falcons, tackled by Ronnie Bradford. It's a gain of 13 yards and enough for a Minnesota first down. So, Jeff, they are moving that football again And at some point, Falcons are just going to have to slow this offense down, or it's going to be a very long afternoon.
Well, Hatchett in for Reed. He had 15 catches on the year. Reed is inactive for this game, Jake Reed. But Cornelius Bennett slips and falls, and he should be in the passing lane. If he is, he might be in a chance to tip that ball intercept.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Here's the give. It is to the tailback, Robert Smith, and Smith back to the line of scrimmage, may have lost a half yard. Falcons bottle it up with the middle linebacker, Jesse Tuggle. The numbers on Randall Cunningham so far, 4 of 5 for a total of 89 yards, and he has the 1 touchdown. The big play to Randy Moss for the touchdown, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter of play. That's it from the Metrodome after 1 quarter of play. It's Atlanta 7, Minnesota 7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. Today's game brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental. After 1, it's 7-7 in the Metrodome. First downs, Falcons 9, Minnesota 4. Rushing yards, Falcons 20, Minnesota 1. Passing yards, 82 for the Falcons, 59 for Minnesota. Total yards, 102 for the Falcons, 60 for Minnesota. And the Falcons have had 1 turnover. 2nd and 12 from the 48-yard line of the Falcons. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far. Cunningham will go straight across the middle. It is to his tight end who makes the catch, Andrew Glover, and Glover is up to the 40-yard line. Tackled by Keith Brooking and also Randy Fuller. It is a pickup of 8, so 3rd and 4 from the 40. Let's go to Pete Davis along the Falcon sideline.
The Metrodome.
All right, Pete, 3rd and 4 now from the 40. We'll try to get back to you. Randy Moss now is split to the left. David Palmer is back into the ball game. 2 wide receivers to the near side, Matthew Hatchett and also Chris Carter. Now it's Carter in motion. He will go to the left side of the field. Short drop by Randall Cunningham has Moss. Enough for a first down to the 33-yard line. Coverage by Ray Buchanan. Nothing tricky or fancy about that. Falcons laying off of Randy Moss, and he comes back and has enough for the first down.
Playing zone again. You're going to see a lot of zone, I think, out of the Falcons today. They're going to mix it up a lot, but I don't think they're going to blitz very much against Randall Cunningham. He's tough to get to. His line's only given up 25 sacks. That's number 4 in the NFL.
Carter left, Moss to the right. Robert Smith, single setback. Now in motion is the tight end, Greg DeLong. Here's the give to Smith, left side. Chuck Smith is there on the tackle. He grabbed a hold of the ankle of Robert Smith, and Smith went down in a hurry.
Well, that's a nice play. Cornelius Bennett stuffs the lead blocker. That's DeLong, the H-back, who had come back into a fullback-type position. And then Chuck Smith beating the all-pro left tackle, Todd Stussy. Beat him around the end to grab the ankle. Nice play.
2nd and 9 now from the 32-yard line of the Falcons. Moss comes to the right, Carter to the left. Double tight end set of Hunter Goodwin and Greg DeLong for Randall Cunningham. 2nd and 9, 7th play of the drive following the turnover. Cunningham, quick drop, fires it out to Chris Carter, complete to the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 7, so it'll be 3rd and 2. Ray Buchanan pushes Chris Carter out of bounds. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just saying, Jeff, I like what the Falcons have done so far defensively. Everybody said, well, you've given up the long pass, you've given up the interference. They're picking you apart a little bit with this short stuff. But they've taken the run away, Jeff, and that's the key, I think, is take the run away, force them into being a very patient team instead of a big up-top team that scores very, very quickly on you, and keep the game in perspective for your own offense.
3rd and 2 from the 25 of the Falcons. David Palmer now in motion. He is now the running back. Randall Cunningham will throw near side, completes it to Randy Moss. Enough for a first down. Tackled at the 19, maybe the 18-yard line by Randy Fuller, the left cornerback. And Randy Moss stays very, very active. His 4th catch for a total of 53 yards. Chris Carter has 1 catch for 7. Glover has 2 for 14. But Randy Moss has been the man now with 4 receptions. Randall Cunningham, 8 of 9, 87 yards, and 1 touchdown. Matthew Hatchett is split to the left. Chris Carter to the right. On 1st and 10 from the 19 of the Falcons. Here's the give. It is to the tailback. A little bit of running room. Robert Smith. Smith going into that Falcons defense. He is up to the 12-yard line. Tackled by Esera Tuaolo and Michael Booker converge. But it is a pickup of 6 for Robert Smith with his longest gain And, Jeff, you talked about it before, about how you don't want to have him running the ball and passing the ball effectively. You got to make sure that Smith doesn't have that kind of opportunity again.
Yeah, you can't let him get going. This is a very nice job by the Vikings offensive line, especially Jeff Christie, the all-pro center. There's only about 3 centers in the NFL that can pull and block around the end. Christie is one, Malway from the Jets, and also Dermontti Dawson.
Moss and Carter to the left on 2nd and 4 from the 13. Here's the give. Robert Smith, left side. Falcons read it perfectly and toss him down. Chuck Smith is there along with Jesse Tuggle. And it is probably no gain. A little rough stuff in there, too.
Yeah, Christie caught Booker standing around a pile and just decked him. He's a nasty guy. He was a fullback and a linebacker, I think, at Pittsburgh, and then they turned him into an offensive lineman his last year, and he was drafted, I think, by Arizona, and he's really turned into a very fine center in a short period of time. Only been starting about 3 years here in Minnesota, and he's all pro.
Moss and Hatchett to the left. Carter is to the right. Randall Cunningham out of the shotgun on 3rd and 4 from the 13. Here's the snap. Cunningham will keep the football, bootlegs it to the right, takes a shot. He is short of the first down. He gets up to the 12-yard line. It's a gain of maybe a yard. Chuck Smith is there along with Shane Dronette. Nothing fancy or tricky about that, operating out of the shotgun. And, Jeff, quite frankly, it looked like it was procedure here against the Vikings.
It was flat-out procedure. Everybody in the line moved, and then Christie snapped the ball late. And nobody called it because I guess the officials thought that everybody in the line was moving. It must have been all right. That was a late shotgun snap. It should be a 5-yard penalty.
Gary Anderson from 30 yards out. He's been perfect in this season. Here's the snap. The kick is on the way. It's up, and it is good. So Gary Anderson hits from 30 yards out, and the Vikings have the lead for the first time this afternoon. 9 minutes and 52 seconds left before halftime. Minnesota 10, Atlanta 7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. Yards. It took 6 minutes. Gary Anderson, a 29-yard field goal. The points off the Harold Green turnover. And the Minnesota Vikings lead 10-7. Tim Dwight is the deep man for the Falcons, along with Elijah Williams. Here comes the kick. The kick by Mitch Berger, and it is high and short. Dwight from 2 yards deep. 5, 10, 15, 20. Hitting the hole in a hurry, and up to the 24-yard line goes Tim Dwight before he is tackled, and he is stopped by Hunter Goodwin on the special teams. 9:42 left before halftime. The Falcons trail the Vikings 10-7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons, News Radio WGST. Today's game is brought to you by Georgia Power. 9:42 left before halftime, and the Vikings lead 10-7 after the Harold Green fumble. Jeff, what do you think of this game so far?
I like it. I like the way it's going. You're making Minnesota go the length of the field, other than the long touchdown they had early, the interference and the long touchdown. The clock is eating up. It's a very fast game, and it's still a close, tight game. Falcons need to keep it that way. Field position, or at least a field goal on this drive.
Double tight end set, 1st and 10 from the 24. Mathis in motion to the near side. Offset eye behind Chandler. Chandler play action, sets up across the middle. O.J. Santiago fumbles. Santiago loses it, and the Minnesota Vikings have recovered the football. Orlando Thomas swatted it away, and Robert Griffith was there to scoop it up. The Falcons now with 2 turnovers in this ball game, and the shame is that Santiago made a good catch, had some running room, had enough for a Falcons first down, but he gets stripped by Orlando Thomas, and Griffith is there to snatch it, and the Vikings are in business again at the Falcons 33. You can't do that.
No, you can't turn it over. The Falcons are number 1 in turnover deficiency in the league. They're a plus 20. The number 2 team is the Vikings at plus 14. Very opportunistic defense.
Plus, this Vikings defense is not good enough to be getting those kinds of turnovers. When you take a look at what they do statistically, they are number 11 against the rush. They are number 19 against the pass. Overall, they are the 13th rated defense. And that is not as dominating as that offense is.
Yeah, but what they do is keep teams out of the end zone. They're number 6 in scoring, and that's the only key stat that matters offensively and defensively is scoring and not allowing teams to score.
1st and 10 from the 33. Here is Randall Cunningham. He swings it out to Randy Moss. Left side. Moss now cutting it back inside. Look out, Moss. 20, 15, and upended around the 18-yard line by Ray Buchanan. Randy Moss was coming in motion to the far side of the football field, and once he got to where he needed to be, Randall Cunningham just flipped the ball out, and he went against the grain and came back inside for an 18-yard pickup. Ball now spotted at the 15-yard line of the Falcons, so it's 1st and 10.
Got a great block downfield. Randall McDaniel, the Hall of Fame guard, on Cornelius Bennett. And that was a smooth-looking, it's like a reverse, but it ended up being a pass, but it's a smoother-looking play as you'll see.
Moss and Carter to the left side, 1st and 10 from the 15. Evans and Smith behind Randall Cunningham. Here's the give. Evans left side, big hole. Evans up to the 7, tackled by Chuck Smith. First tackle by Charles Evans, who is out of Clark, Atlanta. 6'1", 250-pounder now in his 6th year. David Dixon, the big right guard, Jeff, is injured. He is along the sidelines for the Minnesota Vikings, so he is out of the ball game right now. 2nd and 2 from the 7-yard line. Moss to the left, Carter to the right. I formation behind Randall Cunningham. Leroy Horde checks into the ball game. He is the tailback. Now Moss in motion near side. Horde gets the call left side. Horde on his feet inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. Pickup of 4 and should have enough for a Minnesota Vikings first down. He does indeed.
Leroy Horde, 9 years out of Michigan. He is their 3rd down back, their red zone back. 3 touchdowns last week at the Arizona. That's a Viking playoff record. Of course, Bill Brown, the great fullback from Viking past Super Bowl teams, one of the honorary captains before the game.
So it's 1st and goal from the 3. Vikings lead 10-7. Falcons have turned it over twice. We've got 7 minutes and 29 seconds left before halftime. Moss to the right, Carter to the left. Now in motion is Evans. Here's the give to Horde, left side. Horde trying to get into the end zone, but he is stopped by Lester Archambault and brought down. That ball will be spotted. Let's see where they spotted. Pretty close to the 2-yard line, Jeff. And there is an injury right now. Vikings have an injured man down on the field. It is Evans, Charles Evans.
Yeah. Now that'd be a blow for him. He is their fullback. He is their lead backer. They don't want to get into just a one-back attack.
We're going to take a break. 6 minutes and 51 seconds are left before halftime. Vikings lead 10-7. They've got the ball at the Falcons 2. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. Welcome back to the Metrodome, everyone. I'm Jeff Hullinger along with Jeff Van Note and Pete Davis. Vikings 10, Falcons 7. Minnesota has the ball now at the Atlanta 2-yard line. Charles Evans is back up. He is okay and makes it to the sidelines on his own power. To the right is Chris Carter and Randy Moss. To the left is Matthew Hatchett, Leroy Horde, single setback. Now in motion, Chris Carter to the far side of the football field. Here is the give. It is to Horde straight up the middle, and Horde is short of the end zone down to about the 1. Ronnie Bradford on the stop on Leroy Horde, the 9-year pro out of Michigan, 5'11", 225 pounds. Clock continues to run.
Great job.
6:22.
Great job by Rich Brooks. The Falcons have their nickel package in there. They're only on the 3-yard line. It's only Horde, one back, one tight end, and that is the nickel package for Minnesota. And everybody's thinking, oh, they're going to throw. No, not the Falcons. They're guess and run, and they do run it. Nice play by Ronnie Bradford.
Hatchett and Carter are to the left. Randy Moss to the right. Horde, single setback on 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. For Randall Cunningham, he'll keep the ball, dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Randall Cunningham just kept the ball and dove into the end zone, his 2nd touchdown of the year, and Minnesota stretches out their lead now. Gary Anderson in, trying to make this a 17-7 game with 5 minutes and 53 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. But, Jeff, the story is turnovers like it is in any football game, be it high school, college, or pro. Particularly, it's magnified in an NFC Championship game. You can't turn it over. It's going to equate to 10 points for Minnesota.
It's uncharacteristic of the Falcons, too. 2 fumbles early in the first half. Uncharacteristic.
Anderson's kick is good. So 5:53 left before halftime. Vikings 17, Falcons 7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. 6 plays, 33 yards, 3 minutes, 41 seconds of time. Randall Cunningham, a 1-yard dive. And they get the points off the turnover, the fumble by O.J. Santiago. So all 3 Minnesota possessions have resulted in scores. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Mitch Berger gets ready to kick off from left to right across your radio dial. The deep man is Tim Dwight. Here's the kick, and Dwight takes it 7 yards back in his end zone. 5, 10, 15, 20. And down at the 24-yard line is Tim Dwight as he is tackled by Antonio Banks, the first-year pro out of Virginia Tech, 5'10", 195-pounder. So the Falcons now trail by 10. They've only had the ball one offensive play this quarter. They have been stung by the Harold Green fumble, then the O.J. Santiago fumble, Jeff, and you just can't do that kind of stuff. They're going to have to try to put together a drive here.
Yeah, they need to put the game back a little bit more in perspective and get it under 10. A touchdown would be great. A field goal would be also good. Something right before the half and run the clock out.
Mathis right, Martin left, 1st and 10 from the Falcons' 24-yard line. Chandler will throw. The straight drop now in trouble, being chased and being tackled at the 20-yard line. It's a loss of 4. He was sacked by Tony Williams. Williams, the nose tackle. And the pocket was collapsing in a hurry. Chandler was trying to buy some extra time, but there was no place to go.
Too much push. Way too much push up the middle. You know, I'm looking at the television, and they're highlighting John Randall. Randall isn't the guy that hurt him. It was the push up the middle by Tony Williams. Cal Collins got to set strong.
Vikings are 9-0 at home this season. They have won by an average of 23 points. 2nd and 14 from the 20-yard line. Mathis to the right. Martin to the left. Jamal Anderson single setback. Chandler will throw. Screen pass right side. Jamal Anderson now trying to cut it back toward the middle. And he is tackled at the 15. No gain. John Randall is there. The numbers on Jamal Anderson so far. Anderson has carried the ball 9 times for a total of 19 yards. And he has caught the ball now twice for a total of 5 yards. Of course, his one catch was for the Falcons' lone touchdown from Chris Chandler. So the Falcons are looking at 3rd and long, 3rd and 19.
Turnovers, and now
Martin was open around the 38-yard line, but the ball looked like it got away from Chris Chandler. Looks like maybe he lost
had to
handle
lose
on the ball.
Yeah, that ball's behind Martin by about 5 yards. He's doing a little circle up in the zone in front of Fuller and in front of the safety. And that ball had to get off his hand, had to slip off his hand, because that's 5 yards behind him.
So for the first time, Dan Straczynski will be punting the ball. He will stand at his 1-yard line. The deep man is the versatile David Palmer at around the 45-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings.
It's the worst area the Falcons kick into, backed up like this.
Here's the snap. Straczynski gets it away. It is a high, somewhat short punt, and called by David Palmer as a fair catch at the 43-yard line. It's a 42-yard punt, and the Minnesota Vikings will take over the football. They lead 17-7. We've got 4 minutes and 13 seconds left before halftime, and as we have mentioned, that every possession has resulted in points for the Vikings offense, but of course 2 of those have been turnovers. They have been greatly helped by that and now have excellent field position as a result of the Falcons unable to do anything offensively.
Well, they've had great field position the last 3 times. The plus 48, plus 33 because of the turnover. Now the plus 43. I mean, you just can't let an explosive offense, the number 1 offense in the league, operate like this.
1st and 10 from the 43 of Minnesota. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Here's the give. It is to Robert Smith. Smith right side, and Jesse Tuggle is there to hammer him down. Penalty marker is down at the 40-yard line. Looked like a face mask by Jesse Tuggle.
15-yarder, too. This is a 15-yarder kind, I think. His head snapped way back. That was a no-gain run, too.
Waiting for the call. Face mask against Jesse Tuggle.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, 58, defense, 15 yards, first down.
So Tuggle just sort of reached around and pulled the head of Robert Smith in one of those laws against nature things. They're trying to make his head like an owl, and it doesn't quite work. Ouch.
Well, they'll know Jesse's there. I mean, he certainly has made his presence felt. And talked to him in the hotel the last couple of days. He's been eager. He's been anticipating this game his whole career, and he was ready to play probably last Wednesday.
Moss and Carter are split to the right side. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. 17-7 Vikings, 3:48 left before halftime. Play action for Cunningham. He swings it out to Charles Evans. Evans near side has enough for another first down. More penalty markers are down. More personal fouls. It looks like this will go against Cornelius Bennett. Bennett and Michael Booker were in the vicinity of the penalty markers, and now those personal fouls will go against the Falcons, and that is trouble.
Well, I just can't believe this. I mean, this game was rolling along very nicely in the first quarter. And since then, it's been interference, penalty, touchdown pass, fumble, personal foul, a sack before there. I mean, I have not seen the Falcons play this poorly in a first half.
No, that is the shame of it. This is the poorest that they have played since we have seen them in this season, where they are 15-2. 1st and 10 now from the 19-yard line. Moss to the left. Hatchett and also Carter are to the right now. Carter in motion. He'll go to the far side. I formation for Randall Cunningham. Play action, setting up, firing across the middle. Randy Moss wide open, and the ball was overshot by Randall Cunningham. Eugene Robinson was the closest defender as Randy Moss came streaking across. Man, is he fast. That is the understatement, perhaps, of this NFL season. But he is just streaking. Man, is he quick.
4.240. Very, very fast. He broke some kind of record of Deion Sanders at Florida State when they tied him in the 40s when he was there for that short period of time his freshman year. 17 touchdowns this year, 9 of them over 45 yards. What a player.
2nd and 10 now for the 19. Smith single setback behind Cunningham. Moss left, Carter right. Long count by Randall Cunningham. Here's the give. Smith left side has some running room, trying to get to the outside, and is pushed out of bounds by Michael Booker. Over at the 18-yard line, it is a pickup of 1, so 3rd and 9 for the Minnesota Vikings today on 3rd down. They have had 3 attempts at first down and are 2 for 3 right now in 3rd down conversions, Jeff.
Still doing a nice job on the run, and that's part of the game plan defensively. Take this run away and force them to beat with a pass. The other part of the game plan was not to allow them to operate in such good field position all day long.
David Palmer to the left. Carter and Moss are to the right. Evans single setback behind Randall Cunningham on 3rd and 9 from the 18. Cunningham will throw looking near side, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver was Chris Carter at around the 10-yard line, but the coverage was pretty good by Ray Buchanan, who is now doing a little bit of talking in the vicinity of Chris Carter, and that means that we will see Gary Anderson as he will attempt to put another 3 points on the board for Minnesota.
Now, Ray's bounced back. You know, he had that interference early on, gave him about 29 yards. He has bounced back to make a couple plays. This time he times it perfectly and hits Chris Carter when the ball gets there from behind. And it is not interference. That is a nice job by Ray Buchanan.
Gary Anderson hasn't missed a field goal all season long. This from 36 yards. It is on the way, it is up, and it is good. So Gary Anderson now 2 for 2, hit one from 29 yards, and now one from 36 yards. So we got 2 minutes and 45 seconds left before halftime. Vikings now lead 20-7. And Jeff, I suppose if you are an optimist, you say, well, it could be worse. Instead of a couple of touchdowns over the last 2 drives, they have resulted in 2 field goals. So
yeah, you're looking for strong things. You're right, Jeff. A bounce on it that your defense, has held them to 13 points with this tremendous field position over the last 3 drives. But where's this offense been since that very first drive? The 2 fumbles have really knocked it out of rhythm, and last 3 and out on the last series. And every series is going to be very precious today.
Falcons have been hurt by penalties, 4 of them for a total of 30 yards, and also they have been hurt by the 2 turnovers from O.J. Santiago and Harold Green. So when you combine all of those things, it is 20-7 right now with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left before halftime. The Minnesota scoring drive, 6 plays, 38 yards, 1 minute and 18 seconds. Anderson, the 36-yard field goal after 2 straight personal fouls, really set the table for the Vikings to extend their lead. So the Falcons offense has got to find their way. They've got to get something going here. Try to put some points on the board and change some of this momentum and change this football game back toward their direction. Mitch Berger will kick off from left to right across your radio dial. Here is the kick. It is high, and it is retrieved by Tim Dwight. Dwight, 5, 10, 15, 20, and brought down again at the 24-yard line by Antonio Banks.
He's going to break one. I just have a feeling. I mean, he's taking that ball 6, 7 yards deep in the end zone, and he's bringing it out to the 24 every time. And there's going to be a crease here still, although you don't want the Vikings kicking off a lot.
There have been 3 kickoffs in a row where he has been wrestled down around the 24 or 25-yard line. If he can get by that initial wave, Tim Dwight is going to pick up a lot of yards. All right, so it's 1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. Tony Martin is split to the near side. Terrence Mathis is split to the far side. Falcons now have 3 wide receivers. Also to the right is Ronnie Harris. Here's the give out of the shotgun from Chris Chandler to Jamal Anderson. Anderson across the 30 up to the 31-yard line, tackled by Robert Griffith. Nice play by Jamal. He picks up 6 yards. Falcons' last 3 possessions have been a turnover, and a punt.
McDaniel's hurt again. He's hurting that knee. That knee is bothering him. They've had to call a timeout now, I think, in order to get him off the field.
Well, so far the Vikings defense has looked pretty good. Again, their numbers are not that great. They're 13th overall, number 19 against the pass, and 11 against the rush. So you have to think, Jeff, that if the Falcons can get back in that rhythm that they had on the opening series after the kickoff, where they were able to march the football down and put it into the end zone, Chris Chandler to Jamal Anderson from the 5-yard line, that maybe some good things can happen. They just have to stop turning the football over. 2nd and 4 from the 31 of the Falcons. 5 defensive backs for Minnesota. 3 wide receivers now. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Chandler shotgun, being chased, firing right, completing. Falcons first down. Harold Green, and this time Green hangs on to the football. He is up to the 38-yard line, tackled by Pete Bersich, the middle linebacker who now is in for Ed McDaniel. And we are at the 2-minute warning. 1 minute and 55 seconds are left before halftime. Vikings 20, Falcons 7. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons. News Radio WGST. Inside the Metrodome, I'm Jeff Hullinger with Jeff Van Note and Pete Davis. The average start position for both of these teams, Falcons have begun from their own 23. The Vikings from their own 47. Let's go to Pete Davis along the Falcons sidelines. Pete?
The Falcons coaches are telling the guys as they come off the field to keep their composure. They're still in this game. Coach Reeves is clapping the guys and patting them on the back as they come off the field. Back to you, Jeff.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Harris and Mathis to the near side. That's the left side. Tony Martin to the right side, far side. Shotgun formation for Chris Chandler. Chandler now moving up to tell Robbie Tobeck the snap count. Long count. Chandler takes it. Here comes the blitz, and Chandler goes down. Chandler sacked at the 27-yard line by Jason Fisk, who came blasting across. He was unblocked. He was in the backfield almost as quick as the football was.
Well, there's confusion. There's confusion. Robbie Tobeck and Gene Williams about the blitz. Here comes the safety, Robert Griffith, and Robbie turns Fisk loose. Nobody to pick up Fisk. He comes up the middle free.
2nd 21 from the Falcon 28. Shotgun again for Chandler. Swings it out to Jamal Anderson. Anderson now trying to take it out of bounds and does to the 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 9. Ramos McDonald pushed him out. So the Falcons are now looking at 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 12 from their 37-yard line. They trail 20-7. 90 seconds are left before halftime. Falcons could desperately use some points on the board before they go in. Chris Chandler's been sacked twice today, been hurried 3 times. He's been hit 4 times. 3rd and 12 from the 37 again out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers for the Falcons. 2 near side, 1 to the far side. Here's the snap. Chandler looking, throwing long, has a man out there. Tony Martin was all by himself around the 25-yard line, but the ball was to the right. Martin wanted it to come to the left. Also, a lot of pressure by Robert Griffith coming in on Chris Chandler, Jeff.
Yeah, but it's a bad pass. Martin has got Ramos McDonald beat. He's a 4th-round pick this last year out of New Mexico. He has him beat. There's no safety help, and we've seen Chris Chandler make his throw. He doesn't make a very good throw. The Griffith pressure comes late after, and he should let the ball go maybe a little bit sooner, but it comes a little bit late.
Straczynski stands at his 23-yard line. Here is his punt. The deep man is David Palmer at around his 20. High spiral. Palmer calls for a fair catch at his 18. It's a 45-yard punt by Dan Straczynski, and the Minnesota Vikings got the football again with 1:17 left as they attempt to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, I don't think they're a type of team that's going to sit on it either, Jeff. They're going to come out with their 3 wides and try to attack in a 2-minute offense. And the Falcons, there's no rhythm to their offense since that first drive. Obviously, the turnovers have hurt it, and you can't put your defense in that kind of position. You can't have the penalties they've had, the 2 15-yarders and also the interference. This is just not, they're not operating like they came into this game expecting to.
First and 10 from the 18-yard line. 3 wide receivers for Minnesota, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. This is the worst field position for Minnesota of this ball game now from the 18-yard line. Cunningham will throw, sets up, being pressured, and overshoots his man. The intended receiver was Matthew Hatchett, but a lot of pressure on Randall Cunningham in the form of Travis Hall, who was back there in a flash, in a hurry.
Well, they're having a little difficulty with the stunts. And the bad side of the line, if you want to say it, is Dixon, 71, the right guard, and Corey Stringer, 77, the right tackle. Both guys go about 340.
They're huge.
They are giants, and they're run blockers. They're mashers, and they don't have the good feet. So Travis Hall and Lester Archambault have to use their quicks and the stun ability today, maybe to make some inroads there.
5 defensive backs for the Falcons, 2nd and 10 from the 18, 3 wide receivers for Minnesota. Here comes Randall Cunningham, the drop, and looking for his man, and Chris Carter, and overshoots him at around the 25-yard line. And now Carter is mixing it up with Randy Fuller at the 23-yard line. The official comes in to say, guys, knock it off. 1:08 left before halftime. 20-7, Minnesota leads. Edgar Tregitz will update you as to what is going on at halftime.
It's twice now. He's thrown the ball high, and I don't think he's doing it on purpose. He's just letting it go. A little pressure, though, from the Falcons. We're seeing the Falcons get a little pressure from their front four in this nickel situation.
Horde and Palmer are behind Randall Cunningham on 3rd and 10 from the 18. 1:08 left. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side for Cunningham. Cunningham will throw, setting up. And the ball is loose. The ball is loose. He was stripped of it as he attempted to throw the football. Let's see if the Falcons have the ball. Chuck Smith says the Falcons have it. Falcons with a first turnover here of the first half. And the Falcons have something going inside a minute. Chuck Smith with the swipe. And then the ball was loose, and the Falcons get it up.
Nice
Travis Hall on the fumble recovery for the Falcons.
Chuck Smith beat Stussy around the end. Beat him around the end. It's twice today he's done it. Once on a run, now on a pass, and he knocked that ball clean out of Randall's hands before he could get it up in the air in a throwing motion.
That's what the Falcons need, some turnovers. They need to get some opportunities, and now they have it with 59 seconds left before halftime. Jeff, the Falcons have turned the ball over twice, and now Minnesota once. If you can put some points on the board, if you can get a touchdown here, this game looks radically different than it did, say, just a couple of minutes ago.
Well, you get the big lift before half, and you get them out of something they don't usually do. They don't turn the ball over. They got 5 fumbles this year as a football team. They're not a turnover team. And therefore, you get something cheap right before the half. Give yourself some momentum. Feel good going into the half.
Falcons are 1 for 1 in the red zone. Minnesota 3 of 3, a touchdown and 2 field goals. 1st and 10 now from the Minnesota 14-yard line. 59 seconds are left. Tony Martin is split to the right. Terrence Mathis to the left. Jamal Anderson, the single setback. Now it's Mathis in motion. He'll go to the far side. That's the right side. Chandler will throw, setting up, going across the middle. Touchdown, Falcons. Terrence Mathis, and the Falcons are on the board here in the second quarter with 56 seconds left. It's a 14-yard touchdown from Chris Chandler to Terrence Mathis, and all of a sudden this game looks much different, Jeff, than it did just a couple of minutes ago. How about that?
You got to take the turn and do something with it. Nice job. The motion by Mathis tells him man for man. I got Hitchcock man for man. And then you drive off the safeties with Santiago. There's a gap there. Mathis beats Hitchcock. Chandler delivers. Great blitz pickup by Jamal Anderson on Dixon Edwards. Nice play. Nice
Morton
job.
Anderson, the point after attempt. Dan Straczynski is holding. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. We've got 56 seconds left before halftime, and the Vikings now lead the Falcons 20-14. A nice pass by Chris Chandler to Terrence Mathis. When you talk about this Falcons team, no matter how this game goes today, Jeff, this is a team offensively in no small part that has been defined by their success in the red zone. They have been one of the NFL's best teams all season long with that ball inside the 20-yard line, and it's amazing how it has changed the tempo of so many of these games the Falcons have played in the season of 98, now into 99.
Well, and I think it's defined a little bit, too, by the balance of the football team. The defense has been under some duress today because of the field position. Hey, they go out and they get a turnover, and then what do you expect from a turnover? I want you to do something with it, and something dramatic, and that's a touchdown pass. You notice how quiet it got, how suddenly very quiet it was throughout here?
Yes, it's like sitting in St. Philip's on Peachtree.
Which you do often or not?
My wife wants me to do more. One play, 14 yards, 3 seconds. And Mathis, the 14-yard touchdown from Chris Chandler. There's some points off of a turnover. The Falcons could use some more of that. 17 of the 34 points scored have been off of turnovers. You really don't expect that, Jeff, in an NFC championship game in the first half. So Morton Anderson will kick off from right to left across your radio dial. The deep man is David Palmer. Here's the kick. It is 6 yards deep in the end zone. Palmer down on one knee. And the Minnesota Vikings will take over the football at the 20-yard line. They've got 56 seconds to try and move the football.
That's one thing you can say about Dave Palmer. He's no Tim Dwight. Tim Dwight's been taking him out 7 yards deep all day.
Tim Dwight has that sort of Torah thing working about him. So it's 1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line, and it is fascinating to see how quiet it is inside the Metrodome. Very, very quiet. 3 wide receivers for the Vikings. Carter and Moss are to the right. Matthew Hatchett is to the left. Here's the draw play. It's to Robert Smith. Smith with a little bit of running room. Out across the 25 down to the 27-yard line. Jesse Tuggle on the tackle. Clock is running at 44 seconds left before the end of the first half. Hurry-up offense by Randall Cunningham, 2nd and 3 from the 27-yard line. Cunningham, the drop, being chased, trying to set up the screen, drops it off to Smith, and Smith runs out of bounds at the far side of the football field at the 26-yard line. It's a loss of a yard. 30 seconds are left.
Now, those are a couple of safe plays, a draw and then a screen. And if they'd gotten the first down, they still got 3 timeouts left. I'm not sure that they're playing for points right before the half. I think they're playing a little bit safe, talking about the Vikings after that turnover.
4 wide receivers now for the Minnesota Vikings. We see Randy Moss, Chris Walsh, Chris Carter, Matthew Hatchett. And they will go with a total of 5 receivers here. 3 now to the near side, 2 to the far side. 6 defensive backs for the Falcons here on 3rd and 4. Cunningham drops, fires it across the middle to Chris Carter, and Carter is tackled at the 36-yard line. Clock is running at 24 seconds, and Minnesota will burn a timeout. They have 2 timeouts left. Ronnie Bradford on the tackle, and it is enough for a first down for the Vikings.
Chris Carter, one of the great receivers in the history of the game. There was a couple of years there in the 90s. He caught over 120 balls 2 out of 3 years. And this year, even with Moss in here, 78 catches this year, 12 TDs. Just a tremendous football player.
Randall Cunningham, 13 of 17, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, and he lost a fumble. Gary Anderson is warming up along the sidelines. His career long is 55 yards. His long this season has been 53, and as far as field goals go, Jeff, it's just staggering. He's 35 of 35, and has just been astonishing.
59 extra points, yeah. I was watching him in warm-ups before the game. I saw him hit 2 or 3 from 53 out.
4 for 4 in the playoffs also, 2 for 2 today. 1st and 10 now from the 36-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Cunningham throws. He has Horde coming out of the backfield, and Horde runs out of bounds at the 38-yard line with 18 seconds remaining. No. They're not doing anything fancy here, not trying to push the ball down, but they are picking enough yards up at a clip here to flirt with the idea of trying to get Gary Anderson into some field goal position. Falcons have got to tighten up here.
Well, 1 play. That's all they want is 1 play down the seam, 1 out to Moss, 1 play against this zone, because they've run the ball out of bounds now the last 2 plays, and they've still kept their 2 timeouts.
Carter and Moss to the left, Hatchett to the right. Single setback is Leroy Horde on 2nd and 7 from the 39-yard line. Cunningham, straight drop, looking now, stepping up, throwing to Horde out of the backfield. Horde has the ball, and he is tackled at the 47-yard line. 11 seconds are left before the end of the first half. Tackled by Keith Brooking. And a timeout by the Vikings. They'll burn another. They've got 1 timeout left. Gary Anderson on the Vikings sidelines now straps on his helmet as he is hoping and thinking that just 1 more play across the middle from Cunningham to perhaps Carter, perhaps Moss, perhaps Palmer, perhaps so many different weapons to put them in field goal position.
I think they need about 20 yards. They need 20 yards on 1 play, and they can use their timeout. They can. I think they need something in the middle of the field. I think you need something that'll get them down about 20 yards and give them a little time to still call that timeout.
For Randall Cunningham, he has used 7 different receivers today and a ton of different formations. If you are looking for tendencies, you might have to look all day and all night. 1st and 10 from the 48 of Minnesota. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Horde single setback behind Randall Cunningham. Cunningham will throw. The drop, has time, looks up, throws to Carter, and Carter is in Falcon territory, run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. But there is a penalty marker at the 44. Let's see where that will go.
It's going to be defensive holding against the Falcons.
With 5 seconds left.
Yeah, they mugged Carter over there before he caught that ball as he was trying to make an in route. And I don't know if that was Cornelius or Brooking. I didn't catch the number. But
holding Falcons. All right, 5 seconds are left before the end of the first half. And Gary Anderson is getting close.
21, defense. That penalty's declined.
21.
Be second down.
Okay.
Elijah Williams is called for the hold, so 5 seconds are left. Jeff, you're Billick. What do you do here? What do you call?
I call about a 7 or 8 yard quick out. The Falcons maybe are not going to give that to him, but I think that's what I want, a 7 or 8 yard quick out. And, the thing about it is the guy's got some kind of record. Do you make it too long where he misses and loses the record? I know that sounds foolish, but and you're just trying to win a football game. But
4 wide receivers, 3 near side, 1 to the far side. Cunningham sets up, now scrambling to his right, looking and heaving the football toward the end zone. It is a up-top shot, and it's incomplete. And that is the end of the first half. And the Falcons escape still more than in this football game. The Falcons now trail the Vikings at halftime. It is 20-14 from the Metrodome in a game where they have turned over the football twice to give the Vikings the lead and put them in position to take this halftime lead. So that's the end of the first half. It is 20-14. Vikings lead the Falcons. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. He steps up the football from right to left across your radio dial. David Palmer takes it 4.5 yards deep in his end zone. 5, 10, 15, 20, and still on his feet, knocked down at the 22-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over the football. They get first crack here to begin the second half. Vikings, off of those 2 Falcon turnovers, converted into 10 points, and that is your difference in this football game. Also, it is curious to see the Falcons have only 25 rushing yards, a team that is predicated by the run that has not been able to get Jamal Anderson off today.
Well, they didn't get any continuity. When you turn the ball over as they did, one was on a 3rd down play to Harold Green, the other on a 1st down play to Santiago, you lose chances at possession. I think it's one of the reasons they didn't get a chance to really run a lot.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line of the Vikings. Carter left, Moss right. Cunningham will throw, swings it out to his tight end. It's Greg DeLong, and DeLong is across the 25, out to the 27-yard line. A pickup of 5. Michael Booker is there on the stop for the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of different targets for Randall Cunningham in the first half. He has had 8 different targets, and certainly when you think about the definition of this Vikings offense, it is that, Jeff, that he can go to anybody at any time and any place. 2nd and 4 now from the 28-yard line of Minnesota. Moss left, Carter right, I formation, and this time rolling right as Randall Cunningham wants to throw the ball, and it's incomplete. His intended receiver was Robert Smith, who was coming out of the backfield, but was well covered by Cornelius Bennett, and that means 3rd down.
Early recognition by Cornelius. He made that great play last week against the 49ers, and Terry Kirby tapping the ball away. But early recognition, he's got first back out. He's all over Robert Smith.
Vikings have not punted the ball yet this afternoon. On 3rd down conversions, they have been terrific. 4 of 7 in the first half. So it's 3rd and 4 from the 28. Hatchett to the right, Carter and Moss to the left. Leroy Horde and David Palmer are split behind Cunningham. He will throw. The drop, looking for his man, and completes to David Palmer. Palmer's first down for the Vikings off to the 37-yard line where he is pushed out of bounds. Initially, it looked like he was going to be stopped to the first down, but he was able to juke the defensive man and keep on moving toward that first down. So it's 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of Minnesota.
That's what they do, though, with Palmer. They get him in mismatches, and this one is a mismatch a little bit with his old Alabama alumni brother, Cornelius Bennett, as Cornelius is unable to make the tackle and the loss. That would have been 4th down.
First and 10 from the 37. Here is the give. It is to the tailback, Robert Smith, right side, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he picks up a yard, maybe 2 yards. Cornelius Bennett is there along with Travis Hall to stuff the run. So we'll call it second and a long 7 from the 40-yard line. 13:31 to go here in the third quarter. We are just underway in the second half of the NFC Championship game. Vikings 20, Falcons 14. Moss goes to the left along with Chris Carter. To the right is Matthew Hatchett. And Smith, single setback behind Randall Cunningham. Long count. Cunningham, the give. Smith, and he is met and hammered down by Keith Brooking, who came crashing across to make the tackle on Robert Smith.
Working against the all-pro tackle. Nice job by Keith Brooking. Stussey's supposed to block him, and Keith just blitzes up inside of him.
It's a loss of 4. Third and 11. A very quiet Metrodome, Jeff.
Keep it that way. Keep it as quiet as possible, especially when the Falcons are on offense.
Almost like playing in St. Louis, right?
It is. I mean, you kept hearing about the noise, the deafening noise all game long. That has not been the case.
Third and 11 from the 36-yard line of Minnesota. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Cunningham will throw. Here comes the blitz, trying to set up the screen. They do so. And now it is trying to get out is David Palmer, and Palmer is short of the first down. Tackled by Shane Dronette. Falcons read that perfectly. They put a lot of heat on Randall Cunningham, a lot of heat on him in a hurry, and then Palmer was trying to find some sort of yardage for the Falcons defense with great pursuit to stuff it. And for the first time this afternoon, we will see Mitch Berger in the role of punter. The deep man is Tim Dwight. Last week, Berger had 1 punt against the Arizona Cardinals. Here's the snap, and Berger with a long, booming punt. Tim Dwight over his head. He will field it at the 2. Dwight now up to the 10. Near side 15, 20, 25, and tackled at the 27-yard line. You talk about living on the edge and living dangerously. Why not let that sail into the end zone? But if you are very macho like Tim Dwight, you will have none of that. 11:39 left in the third quarter. A 62-yard punt, 26-yard return, 2014 Vikings lead. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons, News Radio WGST. Falcons are hanging around here inside the Metrodome. They trail 20-14 in a game. They've had a bunch of penalties in the first half and 2 turnovers. And now they try to get something going here in the third quarter. Mathis is split to the near side. Tony Martin to the far side. Jamal Anderson, single setback. First and 10 now from the 28-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Mathis now in motion. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson. Anderson trying to get through traffic up to the 25-yard line. He will lose a few yards. Dwayne Rudd, the linebacker, makes the stop. The second-year pro from Alabama, 6'2", 240 pounds. Jamal Anderson's afternoon on the ground, not much so far. 11 carries for 27 yards. Jeff, it should be noted that he is at his best in the third and fourth quarter.
He'll have to be. You have to beat this team defensively. This is an average defense. That's where you have to win to beat the Vikings.
2nd and 8 from the 30. 4 wide receivers for the Falcons. 3 in a cluster to the right. 1 to the left. Chandler will throw. Swings it out to Jamal near side. 30. Trying to get up to the 35 and gets about there. Robert Griffith, the strong safety, came up to make the stop. So the Falcons now are looking at third and about 2.5 from the 35-yard line.
Robert Griffin, third in tackles on his team. Very sure tackler. Very good, strong safety. Also, they like to use him in the slot against the nickel. He is a cover guy. He can cover. Real fine football player.
Falcons 3 for 6 on third down. Here comes the crowd. 3rd and 3 now from the 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun for Chandler. 4 wide receivers. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Vikings showing blitz. Here's the snap. Here they come. Chandler setting up the screen. Dumps it to Jamal Anderson. Anderson out across the 40. First down, Falcons. Tackled at the 42-yard line by Orlando Thomas. Jamal did a lot of it on his own. A missed tackle here by Dwayne Clemens, the left end, as Jamal was able to get away from it.
Well, what they do is by standing guys up, Dwayne Clemens, standing up John Randall, walking up the safeties. They're trying to mess up the blocking of the Falcons. The screen's a call. Dwayne Clemens has to guard Jamal Anderson. What a mismatch.
Tony Martin to the right. Terrence Mathis to the left. Offset I formation behind Chris Chandler. Now it's O.J. Santiago in motion to the near side. 1st and 10 from the 42 of the Falcons. Play action for Chandler. Chandler fires. Completes. Falcons first down. It's in Vikings territory to Tony Martin. Martin up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 yards, and the Falcons offense is moving.
Now you're working against the zone. Both teams playing a lot of zone today. The Vikings specialize in it. Works in behind Fuller, in front of the safety Thomas, behind the linebacker McDaniel. Nice little hole. Settle down, make the catch.
1st and 10 from the 42 of Minnesota. Mathis to the left. Martin to the right. I formation of Jamal Anderson and Brian Kozlowski. O.J. Santiago now in motion to the far side. He's now coming back to the near side. Long count by Chandler. Pitch, Jamal left side. Jamal then cutting it to the right. That is, in fact, Ken Oxendine. Oxendine has checked into the ballgame for Jamal Anderson. That's Oxendine's first carry of the day. Saw some of him last week against San Francisco. He is the rookie, the 7th-round draft pick out of Virginia Tech. So no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 42. Jamal Anderson back in. Ken Oxendine goes out. Tony Martin to the right. Terrence Mathis to the left. O.J. Santiago being waved by Chris Chandler to go to the left side. Falcons with 4 wide receivers now. 3 in a cluster to the near side, 1 to the far side. And the Vikings are offsides. Free play for the Falcons. No, they will stop it. They will stop it, and it looked like Derek Alexander came crashing across. Question was he drawn or not?
Nah, he jumped way across, way too low.
Offsides, 90 on the defense, unabated to the quarterback. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That's Derek Alexander, 4-year pro out of Florida State. So, with 8 minutes and 14 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, Falcons trail 20-14. They are trying to get something rolling here. 2nd and 5 from the 37 of Minnesota.
I'd run him Anderson here. I'd run him against this little nickel look that they have. They're playing nickel. They're playing pass.
Chandler is now lining up as a wide receiver to the near side. Tim Dwight takes the snap and now bootlegs it to the right side. Here's Dwight running hard. 30, 25, 20, and wrestled down out of bounds at the 20, at the 16-yard line. How about that play? You talk about something to surprise everybody. A pickup of 21 yards by Tim Dwight. When Chandler checks out as a wide receiver to the near side, you know something alien is about to occur.
Yeah, and they're not going to throw to him either. What a play. Little creative play by Coach Reeves. It's got to be a face mask. It's got to be, and they don't call it.
Head off.
Come on. What are you looking at?
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line for the Falcons. I formation. Mathis now in motion. Chandler, long count. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson left side, now taking it outside. Anderson to the 10 and pushed out of bounds. It's a pickup of 5.5, maybe 6. Run out of bounds by Robert Griffith, the strong safety.
Well, I just can't believe they didn't call a face mask on his play. It was up around his face with his hands. You should have called that. Around the head. You can't do that kind of stuff in this league. They're letting the Vikings get away with something here. But
how about how fast Tim Dwight hits those holes? Man, he turned that corner.
He's going to get one of those kickoffs back, too. He is exciting.
2nd and 3 now from the 9-yard line. Mathis is to the left. Double tight end set for the Falcons. Offset I behind Chris Chandler. Play action, rolling right is Chandler, dumping the ball. He has his tight end in Ed Smith, and Smith is stopped at the 7-yard line. It's a pickup of a couple. Orlando Thomas is there. Very similar to that play against the Miami Dolphins to open the game, Jeff. You remember where you fake it to Jamal on the left side, and then Chandler rolls to the right looking for his tight end.
Well, they had Santiago covered. That was his first option. And they also had Mathis down the end zone covered. He had another option. And Smith is his 3rd option. He is the safety valve, and that's why they don't get anything.
Falcons are 2 of 2 in the red zone this afternoon. 3rd and 2 from the 8-yard line. I formation, 3 tight ends for the Falcons. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson goes right, then turns it back left and is tripped up. Oh, man. Jimmy Hitchcock tripped up Jamal Anderson, 1 trip up away from 6 points as the entire side of the Minnesota Vikings was going to the Falcons' right. Jamal came back to the left, and well, it really was 1 arm away from going in.
It's a shoestring tackle, too. Normally, Jamal will step out of this. This is just a thing, a good tackle by Jimmy Hitchcock. You got to give him one because you got to jump over the block of Bob Hallen, the backup tight end.
Morton Anderson now from 28 yards out with Dan Straczynski holding. The snap, the hold, the kick, it is up, and it is good. So Morton Anderson hits the field goal, and the Falcons cut into that Vikings lead. 5 minutes, 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Minnesota 20, the Falcons 17. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons, News Radio WGST. Welcome back to the Metrodome, everyone. I'm Jeff Hullinger with Jeff Van Note and Pete Davis. Pete, quickly along the Falcons sideline.
No one down here can believe there wasn't a face call on that, including Terry Bradshaw, who was screaming at the refs. Back to you, Jeff.
Morton Anderson kicking off from right to left across your radio dial. Here's the kick. The deep man is David Palmer. Palmer fields it 4 yards deep in his end zone, up to the 5, the 10, the 15, and tackled at the 17-yard line by the Falcons' Craig Sauer, the Minnesota man who is back in familiar territory. 5 minutes, 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Vikings 20, Falcons 17. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. The game is brought to you by Blockbuster. 10 plays, 66 yards, 6:03 for the Falcons. Morton Anderson, a 27-yard field goal. Dwight, the sweep on the right side for 21 yards, helped set that up, and it's 20-17 right now. Vikings have the lead on the Falcons. They also have the football. Going with 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10 from the 18. 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. The single setback is Robert Smith behind Randall Cunningham. Cunningham will throw, short drop, looking across the middle, firing and completing to Andrew Glover. Glover with a football out across the 25 down to the 27-yard line. It is a pickup of 9. Call it 2nd and 1 from the 27.
It hurt the Falcons a little bit with the tight end. He's made at least 4 catches today, I think. 2 in the first half, 2 now. But you know, they're keeping him away from the deep ball. They're making him go the long distance.
2nd and 1 from the 27 of the Vikings. 3 wide receivers, Moss and Carter to the left, Matthew Hatchett to the right. Smith single setback. He gets the give. Straight up the middle, looking for the first down, and he is stuffed by Lester Archambault. Cornelius Bennett is there, and so is Travis Hall to make the stop. So it'll bring up 3rd and 1 from the 27-yard line.
Travis Hall and Lester Archambault have kicked Dixon and Stringer around today. I mean, those guys both weigh about 340, and Travis Hall and Lester Archambault have not yielded any ground to him.
Lester checks out. John Burrow checks in. 3rd and 1 from the 27-yard line. Moss to the left. To the right is David Palmer and Hatchett. Leroy Horde, single setback now, behind Randall Cunningham. He now goes to the left side. Cunningham will throw on 3rd and 1. Quick pattern, looking for Hatchett. Has him, and he is wrestled to the ground at the 31, maybe 32-yard line by Michael Booker. First down, Vikings. 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in the third quarter. Vikings 20, Falcons 17. Winner goes to the Super Bowl to face either the Jets or the Denver Broncos, coming up at 4:05 Eastern time today.
Very cautious game, very conservative, very cautious game by both teams. They both know what's at stake, and they're not willing to try to make any mistakes or take too many chances.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line for Randall Cunningham. 3 wide receivers. Cunningham drops in trouble, steps up, dumps it, and it's incomplete. A helmet goes flying about 15 yards. It is Shane Dronette's helmet. The helmet back at the 14-yard line. A lot of pressure by Shane Dronette.
Should be a holding call. A guy pulls a guy's helmet off. He's got to be doing something. He's got to be holding him. And Randall McDaniel has got a death grip on Shane Dronette's face mask. I don't know what the officials are looking for today.
No flags at home is what it's about.
Well, it's not very hard to see this kind of stuff.
Moss goes to the left. To the right is Chris Carter. Robert Smith is the lone setback behind Randall Cunningham. 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line. Now it's Carter in motion to the left. Randall is running, rolling to the left, looking to go long, takes a vicious hit, and the ball is up for grabs. It is incomplete. Moss was trying to come back for it, but a lot of pressure and a big hit from the hammer, Jesse Tuggle, who just about took Randall Cunningham's head off.
Did you watch him kind of unload? You know, he started about 10 yards away, and then you saw, Randall's outside the pocket. Here comes Jesse.
It is a vicious hit. Oh, man, that hurts up here.
Randall will be thinking about that. We'll think a little bit about that now. I like this. The Falcons are doing a good job with their defense. Their 4-man rush. They're not blitzing. Their 4-man rush is applying pressure.
Minnesota 6 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 10 from the 32. 3 wide receivers, 2 left, 1 right. Cunningham, the straight drop, looking to throw, firing across the middle. Has Chris Carter, also has the first down at the 44-yard line of Minnesota. Eugene Robinson and Cornelius Bennett are there, but Carter found a seam in the Falcons' defense. It's a pickup of 12 yards.
Well,
they get what they need on third down.
Yeah, well, they're the first in the league. They convert 51%. That's number 1 in the league on third down coming into today's game. But that's not very good defense. You cannot let him get in the middle of the field in front of 4 of your guys.
2 minutes, 45 seconds left in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the Minnesota 44. They lead 20-17. Moss to the left, Carter to the right, I formation. The give is to Smith, straight up the middle across the 45, down to the 46-yard line. And this quarter has gone pretty quick. Antonio Edwards on the stop for the Falcons.
This is a tight, cautious game. This is not the wide open 35 points a game Minnesota team that a lot of people expected to see today. The Falcons defense making them go the long route, playing a lot of zone, keeping everybody in front of them, doing a good job shutting the run down.
2nd and 8 now from the 46 in Minnesota. Moss left, Carter right. Offset I formation behind Randall Cunningham. Falcons come with a blitz. Cunningham looking, has Moss, and Moss juggles the football and loses it at the 47-yard line along the far side of the football field. Thinking about Ray Buchanan, who was there. You know, last week against Arizona, Robert Smith was like O.J. Simpson. He had 19 carries, 124 yards. Today, he's got 12 carries for a total of 17 yards. So both clubs have had trouble running the football against these defenses.
Well, the Falcons have an excellent run defense, only 75 yards a game. And Robert Smith is a big-time runner. I mean, he's got 3 of the longest runs in Viking history, 70-plus yards. The other one is held by Chuck Foreman.
Another third down for Minnesota, 3rd and 8 from their 46. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Cunningham will throw, now running out of the pocket, rolling right, and has Chris Carter. Carter gets by the Falcons defense down to the 37-yard line. Jesse Tuggle is there. 2 Falcon defenders missed Carter, and Carter was able to pick up about 7 or 8 extra yards. It is a pickup of 16, first down Minnesota, and they have something going in Falcons territory.
Force him out of the pocket. He's been more of a pocket passer this year. Talking about Randall Cunningham, you cannot miss the tackle. Randy Fuller cannot miss this tackle. You got to hold him to no yards after the catch.
1:24 left in the third quarter. 20-17 Vikings. 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 37-yard line. 10th play of the drive. Moss left, Carter right. Here's the give. Smith straight up the middle. A little bit of running room this time. Keith Brooking is there. His 5th tackle on the afternoon. That looks like a pickup of 5 yards. So 2nd and 5 now. And the Vikings are mixing it up. A little bit of pass, a little bit of run. Well, inside a minute in the third quarter. 57 seconds.
I really think it's smart football as an offense to run against nickel looks. Nickel looks are in there to play the pass. They're nickel players. They're nickel linebackers. They're specialized guys. In this type of offense, 1 tight end, 3 wides, 1 back.
The camera got close to me.
2nd and 5 from the 32. Double tight end set now for the Vikings. In motion goes Greg DeLong to the far side of the football field. Quick drop by Randall Cunningham. Has his man, the tight end Andrew Glover. And Glover is down to the 21-yard line. Tackled by William White. Another first down for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go to Pete Davis quickly.
Lester Archambault has missed the last few plays. He's getting his left ankle re-wrapped. Back to you, Jeff.
Piedmont Hospital brings that injury update to you. 14 seconds are left before the end of the third quarter, and that will be it. We now move on to the final 15 minutes. The final 15 minutes of this game. Third quarter. Falcons 14 first downs, Minnesota 18. Rushing yards 54 for the Falcons. 39 for the Vikings. Passing yards 212 for Minnesota, 144 for Atlanta. Total offensive yards 251 for Minnesota, 198 for the Falcons. 2 turnovers for Atlanta, 1 for Minnesota. Points off turnovers, 10 for Minnesota, 7 for the Falcons. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line of Atlanta. 3 wide receivers for Minnesota, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Smith, single setback behind Randall Cunningham. Draw play, Smith, right side, running room, and up to the 12-yard line. Keith Brooking on the stop from his linebacker slot. And it is a pickup of 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5 now from the 16-yard line.
They've gotten a little bit of rhythm at running the ball now against this nickel, and it's smart football.
Important to hold the Vikings to 3 here and not allow the touchdown.
Yes. Yeah, keep this game in perspective, a 1-score game.
13th play of the drive, 2nd and 5 from the 16-yard line. In motion is Greg DeLong to the near side. Cunningham will throw, looks right, looks left, now running left, firing the football, has DeLong and Long down to the 6-yard line where he is knocked out of bounds by Eugene Robinson. It is a gain of 10 yards and another first down for the Minnesota offense which continues this long drive.
Well, the versatility of the offense, and you mentioned it, he'd thrown the ball to about 8 different guys at half, and he's moving around a little bit more in this game. They've turned him into more of a pocket passer, but this game, he's shown some of that old escapability that he made the Pro Bowl with when playing with the Eagles.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Moss and Carter split to the left, I formation behind Randall Cunningham. Leroy Horde has checked back into the ball game. Cunningham short drop looking end zone for Chris Carter, overthrows him back of the end zone with Ray Buchanan in tow. So that'll bring up second down.
There's a run coming. There's a run coming in here, and hold him to a field goal right here. The field shortens up, and all of a sudden the big explosive offense doesn't become quite as dangerous when the field is shortened up like this.
13:45 left in this game from the Metrodome in Minnesota. Vikings 20, Falcons 17. 3 wide receivers from Minnesota. Moss and Carter to the right, Hanchett to the left. Leroy Horde is behind Randall Cunningham. Second and goal from the 5. Cunningham will throw, pumps, has time, looking for 6. Touchdown, yes! Matthew Hatchett makes a diving catch in the middle of the end zone, and the Vikings have their first points of the second half.
They doubled up on Chuck Smith. Leroy Horde came in from the outside and cut down Chuck Smith. And that's what got Randall outside the pocket. That was a great catch. That wasn't bad coverage by Booker. He had inside. He just threw it and he stretched for it. Nice catch.
Matthew Hatchett has picked the right time for his first touchdown of the season. Gary Anderson with a point after attempt, and it is good. So the Vikings stretch it out here in the fourth quarter. 13:41 left in the game. Minnesota 27, Atlanta 17. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons, News Radio WGST. Today's game brought to you by Chevy Trucks. The Minnesota scoring drive, a long one. 15 plays, 82 yards, 655. Hatchett, the 5-yard touchdown catch. They had 3 straight conversions on third down. Carter had 2 catches, DeLong had 1, and all those different targets coming into play. Mitch Berger kicks from right to left across your radio dial. The deep man is Tim Dwight, and it is in the back of the end zone where Dwight downs it, and the Falcons will take over the football at the 20-yard line. 13:35 left in the fourth quarter. Minnesota 27, Atlanta 17. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons, News Radio WGST.
Hey, that rhymes.
Falcons trail by 10, 27-17, 13:35 left in the game, and they have the football now at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. After the long drive by Minnesota. Jeff, the crowd now becoming a bit of a factor here. They've been relatively quiet most of the day, now making noise as they sense that the Vikings now certainly are in a good position right now.
Well, 10 points up, 13 to go, but once again, you've got to beat this defense.
Martin left, Mathis right, I formation behind Chris Chandler on 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Chandler will throw, looking near side, and it is incomplete. Terrence Mathis had slipped, had fallen down. Corey Fuller was the man closest to the football thrown by Chris Chandler. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Chandler today 16 of 21, 144, and 2 touchdowns. Dixon Edwards is at the 48-yard line of the Falcons, and he is hurting right now and is unhappy with his injury.
I don't know what his injury is, but McDaniel's hurt. He's got a big, huge brace on his knee.
We'll take a break. 13:30 left in the ball game. Minnesota 27, Atlanta 17. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons, News Radio WGST. Today's game brought to you by Arby's. Falcons scored first on the opening series, but then Minnesota came back, and Falcons have been trying to dig out of the hole most of the afternoon. Tim Dwight checked into the ball game. 3 wide receivers, and now Dwight is checking in at quarterback. Dwight will keep the ball left side, looking for some running room, and this time will not find any. He is tackled at the 21-yard line by Corey Fuller, as Chris Chandler was playing that role again that he has come to know, I guess, as wide receiver.
Chandler gets pretty good block out there on Hitchcock. I think he surprised Hitchcock. Or maybe it's more of a block by Hitchcock on Chandler.
Whatever it is, the Falcons are looking at 3rd and 9 from their 21-yard line. Chandler back at quarterback now. Mathis to the right. Martin to the left. Chandler operating out of the shotgun. Ronnie Harris also checks into the ballgame. He's split to the right. Here comes the pressure. In trouble. Chandler throwing long. Has a man out there. Tony Martin makes the catch. 20, 15, and tackled at the 10. Wow. He beats Jimmy Hitchcock, and Chandler, just as he got hit, got rid of the football. It's a gain of 69 yards, and the ball is spotted at the Minnesota 9. A lot of pressure by Chandler from Dwayne Clemens, who is coming in from his left-end slot, and Martin makes the grab.
Well, poor block by Harold Green. Don't cut him, Harold. Face him up, block him. Don't try to cut him. That's why Chandler almost doesn't have enough time to get this ball off. And that's what you want to do against this secondary. These corners are not that good. Chandler took advantage of it.
All right, so it's first and goal from the 9-yard line. Mathis is split to the right. I formation. Jamal Anderson gets the carry to the left side, and he is stacked up by Tony Williams, the nose tackle. But a 69-yard reception from the arm of Chris Chandler to Tony Martin to the far side of the football field, and that's the kind of thing the Falcons need to do. Falcons have had 3 opportunities in the red zone. They've got 2 touchdowns and 1 field goal this afternoon.
You'll settle for a field goal, but you need a touchdown here. You need to keep this a 3-point game. You got to score a touchdown, but you'll settle for a field goal. A lot of time left in the fourth quarter.
Martin and Mathis to the left. Kozlowski to the right. Second and goal from the 7-yard line. Chandler will throw. Firing across the middle. It's incomplete. Terrence Mathis was open in the end zone, and the ball was such that he couldn't hang on to it.
Tipped away. Ed McDaniel makes a nice play. Middle linebacker got the bad knee we talked about. He is a leader, tackler on this team, 7.5 sacks, 15 tackles for loss. He comes and makes a nice play, tips it away at the very last second.
Falcons really could use a touchdown here, Jeff.
And maybe he doesn't tip it away when I'm looking at a replay. Should have been caught.
Yeah, it looks like he just didn't hang on. Tim Dwight checked into the ball game. Falcons with that cluster formation to the right side. Tony Martin to the left. It's third and goal from the 7-yard line. Chandler will throw. The drop, looking, firing, and it's incomplete. He threw a very, very hard ball to Terrence Mathis. He drilled it in there, and the ball went off Mathis's hands and went very high up into the air, and Morton Anderson will check into the ball game for a field goal attempt.
Maybe put a little bit too much on it. He didn't need to. Maybe he felt that he had to, and after the last pass, but this is a catchable ball too. They needed a touchdown. This is 2 field goals they've settled for after taking it down in the second half on 2 decent drives.
Morton Anderson from 24 yards out to put the Falcons to 20. Dan Straczynski is holding. The snap, the hold, here's the kick. It's on the way, it's up, and it is good. So 11 minutes and 2 seconds left in the game. The Falcons now just a touchdown away from the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota 27, Atlanta 20. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons. News Radio WGST. Brought to you by AirTran Airways. Now there's a more civilized way to save. AirTran Airways, it's something else. Falcons go 7 plays and 84 yards, 239. Anderson, the 24-yard field goal, courtesy of the 69-yard pass from Chandler to Martin. And with 11:02 left in this ball game, 27-20, Vikings still have a lead. Tony Martin's numbers now 5 catches today, 127 yards. Morton Anderson kicks off from left to right across your radio dial. David Palmer is the deep man, and this ball is too far for Palmer to bring out. So Randall Cunningham and the Vikings take over from the 20-yard line. 10:55 left. Vikings 27. Falcons 20. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Falcons. News Radio WGST. 10:55 left in the ball game from the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm Jeff Hullinger with Jeff Van Note and Pete Davis. Vikings 27, Falcons 20. Falcons just hang around and hang around, Jeff. That was one of the things we talked about before the game. If the Falcons could hang around in the fourth quarter, they have a shot.
They're close. They need to make a play again on defense. They had a big one right before the half, but they need another defensive play.
Moss to the right, Carter to the left. Here's the give. It's to Smith, tackled from behind in the backfield by Henry Crockett, who comes firing across the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. It's a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 from the 19. Moss with no receptions this half. In the first half, 5 catches, 71 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Been a very quiet Minnesota offense, way under their averages, and Not the explosive offense we have seen, but you can give credit to the Falcon defense. They've done a good job of kind of containing them.
5 wide receivers now for the Minnesota Vikings, 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. This time Randall is rolling to the right, looking, firing, has his man, and it's complete. No, it's incomplete. Caught the ball out of bounds. Andrew Glover was juggling the football with Cornelius Bennett in tow, and that'll bring up 3rd and 11 from the 19.
Yeah, nice play. Good job by Lester Archambault and also Cornelius Bennett. It looked like they wanted to get early into a zone blitz and drop maybe Lester back. Instead, he forces Randall when he's coming out. And Falcons get a little bit of break on the juggle.
Jeff, one of the most telling statistics in this game. Tell me if you've seen anything like this in the NFL this year. 8 of 12 on 3rd down conversions for Minnesota today.
Well, that's the kind of 3rd down team they are. They are 51%, #1 in the league. We said it earlier, and today they've been getting a lot out of their short stuff.
3rd and 11 from the Minnesota 19. 4 wide receivers, 3 right, 1 left. Randall Cunningham is sacked. He goes down at the 10-yard line. Big play by Randy Fuller, who came across from his left cornerback slot on the blitz, and he was really unblocked, Jeff. I mean, nobody touched him. Nobody picked him up, and he had a clear shot on Randall Cunningham and knocked him down.
Not enough to see him. They couldn't see him, and not enough to block him because they brought too many. Cornelius Bennett, Brookings on the strong side, and Stussy tried to get back and get him. Cunningham never saw him and undercut him.
Mitch Berger is the punter. He stands 5 yards deep in his end zone. Tim Dwight is standing at his 42-yard line. Here comes the punt. It is a high, short end-over-end kick, and Tim Dwight catches the ball in Minnesota territory, diving at the 48. It's a 38-yard punt. And don't look now, but here come the Falcons inside 10 minutes left. 9:36 left here in the game. Falcons trail the Minnesota Vikings 27-20. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons. News Radio WGST. Today's game brought to you by the Atlanta area Toyota dealers. Pete Davis, let's go to you along the Falcons sideline.
There are some black and white clad Falcons fans scattered throughout the crowd, including John from Stone Mountain, who managed to get second-row seats on the 10-yard line. He says the Falcons are going to come back and win this. Back to you, Jeff.
I like that kind of thinking. I hope he's right. Falcons with 9 minutes and 36 seconds. They trail 27-20 here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. Mathis to the right, Martin to the left. Jamal Anderson is the single setback behind Chris Chandler. Vikings showing blitz. No. Chandler, play action, looking, near side, and it is batted down before Terrence Mathis can come up with it. Batted down by Corey Fuller. It's quick play action by Chris Chandler, and then he wanted to come to the near side to Terrence Mathis, and the ball was kind of floating a little bit.
Well, when you go too tight on him, they're going to bring Robert Griffith, their safety, up, and that's what happens and holds him that side. The throw to the backside never fools Fuller, though. He makes a nice play tapping his ball away from Mathis.
Falcons now with 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Jamal Anderson and Harold Green check into the ball game. Ronnie Harris is in as well. Chandler operating out of the shotgun. 2nd and 10 from the 48. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Here's Chandler. He will throw, and he is sacked. Chandler is sacked at the 43, at the 43, excuse me. The 3rd sack of the afternoon on Chris Chandler. Jason Fisk and also Dwayne Clemens are there for the Minnesota Vikings. So the Falcons now are looking at 3rd and a bunch. 3rd and 18 from the 44 of the Falcons.
That's a power rush. Power rush by Jason Fisk against Cal Collins. And he never slows him down. You got to get in front of him. Get your body in front of him. Get your weight in front of him. He never slows him down.
Chandler has completed just 1 of the last 5. The one to Tony Martin for 69 yards is the one of merit. 3rd and 18 from the 44 of the Falcons. 3 wide receivers, 2 left, 1 right. Here's Chandler. He will throw. Here comes the pressure. Going down across the middle, looking for O.J. Santiago, and it's incomplete. But there is a penalty marker down, and in all probability, that's going to be a hold against the Falcons. Yes, it is.
Well, bad series. Plus 48, and you're going backwards. You're getting a sack, you're getting a penalty, you're going backwards.
68 of the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Goes against Calvin Collins. Falcons began at the 48 of Minnesota. Ball now spotted at the 44 of Atlanta. Dan Straczynski's punted twice today. He's averaged 43 a punt. His long has been 44. 8:55 left in the game. The deep man for the Minnesota Vikings is David Palmer, standing around his own 16-yard line. Here's the snap. And Dan Straczynski, a high booming spiral far side of the football field. It's going to take a Falcons bounce And the Falcons are going to down it at the 1. No, it goes into the end zone. Elijah Williams had a chance to down that football at the 1-yard line, but he couldn't hang on to the football. A 56-yard punt by Dan Straczynski, who did his job, but the Falcons special teams just couldn't wrestle it away. And what a shame, Jeff, how close that was.
Poor play. Ronnie Harris is there. He's there first. He's got to locate the ball. Elijah Williams is there right behind him. Poor play by the special team. They got 2 guys down there who can make a play. Neither one of them does.
Well, the ball came right to Elijah Williams, and basically it's sort of like a second baseman in baseball. It's a little pop fly off the handle of the bat, and he could not corral the football. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Randall Cunningham. He has 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Robert Smith, the setback behind Randall Cunningham here on 1st down. Cunningham, long count. Quick drop. Now scrambling left. He'll keep the football, looking to get out of bounds, and does at the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. Clock is stopped at 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in this ball game. So 2nd and 6 now from the 24-yard line.
You know, they're lulling Chuck Smith a little bit. They're letting him run inside. Stussey's turning him loose, and they're letting him take that inside and let the back pick him up. And this time Robert Smith drives him down inside. This is about the 4th time they've allowed Randall to get outside and either throw or run.
2nd and 6 from the 24. Moss and Carter to the right. Hatchett to the left for Cunningham. Cunningham dropping, looking, setting up, firing, and has his man Matthew Hatchett at the 32-yard line. Should be enough for a 1st down. Ray Buchanan in on the coverage for the Falcons, but that's a 1st down, and maybe more importantly for the Vikings, the clock is running inside 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 57 seconds. Jeff, the defense has got to step up and do something.
Well, especially against a guy like Hatchett. He's standing in for Reed, and he's being covered by Ray Buchanan. He's caught 15 balls for over 200 yards, all in the last 4 games. He was inactive the first 11 games of the season.
Carter and Hatchett to the right, Randy Moss to the left. Now in motion is the tight end Andrew Glover. The ball is loose. The ball is loose. Who has it? Falcons say they have the football. They do. The Falcons have the football. Shane Dronette has come up with the football. How about that? And now the turnovers are even. The Falcons 2, Minnesota 2, and a bad snap on that ball. It looks like Randall Cunningham, Jeff, never was able to come up with the ball.
He's starting to pull out. He never got the ball. Looking back at the replay now, Christie never gets him the ball. Looks like he's still in a cadence, and Christie's trying to get out of there, get a reach block. Nice job by Shane Dronette. Now you got to get the points out of it. You got to get the 14 points out of it. I think the Falcons, or Minnesota got 10 out of the Falcons' 2 turnovers.
Well, what a break for the Falcons. 7 minutes and 30 seconds are left. Mathis will go to the left along with Tim Dwight. 1st and 10 from the 30 of Minnesota. It's 27-20. The Vikings have the lead. Jamal Anderson, single setback. Here's the pitch, setting up the reverse. Here comes Dwight to the right, looking for some running room. 30, then is pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Corey Fuller pushes Tim Dwight out of bounds. When Tim Dwight gets that full head of steam going, Jeff, it is one of the most exciting plays in the National Football League. He is thrilling to watch if he has a couple of steps.
Yeah, the Vikings, though, they feel this. They smell this. Corey Fuller's being blocked by Chandler. Stalin Colonnet, the defensive end out of Boston College, is bleeding off the block of Santiago, and they got too many people out of there to make a big enough play out of that. Nice pickup, though.
Martin and Mathis go to the left, offset eye of Kozlowski and Jamal Anderson. 2nd and 5 from the 25 of Minnesota. Vikings showing blitz right now. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson straight up the middle, being pushed back and still on his feet, diving across the 25 down to about the 24, maybe the 23-yard line. Tackled by Dwayne Rudd and Stalin Colonnet. 6 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game. The clock is running. 3rd and 5 from the 25. Jeff, this is as big a play as it gets.
Yeah, we keep talking about the Falcons' run defense, 2nd in the league. These guys are 11th in the league. They only give up 100 yards a game rushing. They have done a nice job of shutting down Jamal throughout the game.
Martin and Dwight are to the right. Mathis is to the left along with Ronnie Harris. Out of the shotgun, Chris Chandler, 3rd and 5 from the 25. Chandler setting up, looking, and being pressured and getting the ball away, but he got hit as he threw it, and it's incomplete. Dwayne Clemens is there, the left end, who put the stick on Chris Chandler as he couldn't get the ball away. He had a target out there.
And now Big Witt's played against Clemens before when he was at Stanford and Clemens was at Cal, but you don't cut him. You don't cut block him, Big Witt. You stay up and ride him around because you missed the cut block. And look what happens. You don't get any kind of play.
4th and 4 for the Falcons. They trail 27-20, 6 minutes and 11 seconds are left. Cluster to the right, 3 wide receivers. Tony Martin to the left. Now in motion is Terrence Mathis. Chandler will throw. The drop, setting up, looking for Terrence Mathis, and it's incomplete. He wants a penalty, says he was held, said there was interference, but he will not get a call from the officials, and the Vikings defense has held. Dan Reeves is furious along the Falcons sidelines. He is angry at the referees. He believes that there was holding, that there was interference. He will not get the call.
Well, I only see the end of the play when Corey knocks the ball away. The holding, if it came, had to come early in this play. And I'm not going to see it. You're going to see the end of the play, and that's a very nice play by Corey Fuller to tap that ball away. But maybe earlier on in the play, and that's what Terrence is calling about, he was being held from freeing up from Fuller.
6 minutes, 7 seconds left in the ball game. Vikings 27-20, 1st and 10 from the 25. Carter right, Moss left, Robert Smith behind Randall Cunningham. Here's the give. Smith left side, running room this time. Bounces off of Falcons tackler, still on his feet, and taken out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 9, very close to 10. William White comes up from a strong safety position.
Biggest run of the day for Robert Smith. Following the pulling block of their center, Christie. We talked about it earlier, about one of the few centers able to do that. But Robert Booker, he can't come up and do a body tackle on Robert Smith. You got to go up and wrap him up and put him down.
Smith, 16 carries, 35 yards. Moss left, Carter right. 2nd and 1 now from the 34, Minnesota. Here's the give. Smith, right side, running room, 40, 45, and knocked out of bounds at the 50-yard line. It's a first down for Minnesota. Clock stops, 5 minutes, 37 seconds left. It's a gain of 16 yards. And, Jeff, plays like that are starting to look and loom very large.
Well, they are. The defense has been out there too long. They've been out there. They've gotten the turnovers, the 2 that they needed. And you're hard to contain this offense all day long. Robert Smith's going to make a cutback on it. He does, behind a good block by Chris Carter on Ray Buchanan.
Leroy Horde now, the setback behind Randall Cunningham. 1st and 10 from midfield. Horde gets the call right side, and he gets into Falcon territory at the 46-yard line. Tackle by John Burrow, who's in at the left end for Lester Archambault. And the clock is running now. It is inside of 5 minutes left in this ballgame.
Yeah, they feel it. You know, Minnesota feels it now. You know, they've run 3 running plays in a row. That Falcon defense, time of possession is going to go the other way today, I feel. I haven't paid any attention to it, but Minnesota's had the ball the most today. They're wearing the Falcon D down a little bit, and you're looking for a turnover again and keeping them away from at least a field goal.
2nd and 5 from the 45 of the Falcons. Here's the give. It's to Smith, taking it outside. Smith running room, 40, 39-yard line. 38 pushed out of bounds by Ray Buchanan. First down, Minnesota.
What was hard early is easier now, as Smith is showing his speed. He's had a lot of carries, but this guy has got big-time speed, and the Falcons are not getting to him. He's getting outside.
1st and 10 from the 37 of Atlanta. 27-20 Vikings have the lead with 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Moss and Carter to the left side. Now it's Carter in motion to the far side of the football field. Here's the give to Smith, trying to take it over the tackle, looking for running room, cutting it out, cutting it in, inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. So Robert Smith is beginning to take over the football game here, and the clock is running. 4 minutes and 15 seconds are left in this ball game. Ray Buchanan is injured. He is down on the field right now.
Well, the offensive line feels it too. You know, you got to back, you got to lead, and the coaches are telling you, come on, run the clock, make the sticks move, get the first downs, give it to Robert Smith, eat this game up. It's in your hands. Offensive lines love this kind of situation, especially when they're successful with it.
Smith with his last 4 carries, 42 yards. And like you say, Jeff, Minnesota is beginning to feel it. The Metrodome crowd can sense it as well. The Falcons had their chance on the last series offensively, had the ball inside the 30-yard line, and it stalled.
You couldn't want it any better. I mean, that's what you want. You're down 7, and you're turning it over to your team on the 30-yard line. Your defense is turning it over to you on the plus 30. Get 7. Knock them, tie this game up, make it a tight game, and let's see who coughs first. And the Falcons couldn't do it in 4 plays.
This injury break brought to you by Piedmont Hospital. Pete Davis, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Give me an update on Ray Buchanan. Do you have any sense of that right now?
They were working on his left knee, but he got up and did walk over to the sidelines. Back to you, Jeff.
2nd and 2 now from the 29-yard line of the Falcons. Rushing yards now, Minnesota with 95. Smith has 66 of them. Falcons have 61 yards on the day. A very quiet afternoon for Jamal Anderson. Vikings came in wanting to shut him down, and they did exactly that. 15 carries, 34 yards for Jamal. 2nd and 2 now from the 29-yard line for Randall Cunningham. Here's the give. It's to Horde, left side, and Horde is short of the first down. So that'll bring up 3rd and about the same, about 2. Tackle by Lester Archambault. 3rd, maybe a yard and a half.
Well, this is an interesting decision now for Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator. He's got that 7-point lead, 3:43.
Falcons will take a timeout here. Cunningham, 26 of 38, 239, 2 touchdowns.
1 sack, I think.
1 sack.
No interceptions.
And he's lost the football twice. Stripped once by Chuck Smith. And then lost the snap from center a few minutes ago.
Well, okay, if you're Brian Billick, I mean, I think you run it again. You run it, you keep running it just to keep the clock moving. And you might even think you're almost in 2-down zone here. This would be about a 34, 44-yard attempt, certainly within the range of Gary Anderson. But you might feel like you're in 2-down territory with the way you've been running the football the last 5 or 6 plays.
Vikings 27, Falcons 20, 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game from the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Glad to have you along on WGSP this afternoon.
Well, so much for that. They empty the backfield.
All right, 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left for Randall Cunningham. Cunningham backs out of center, some confusion, and the Vikings will burn a timeout here.
Well, I think they were going to get a different defense. They thought they were going to get more of a nickel look and maybe be able to run that sneak again like they ran for the touchdown. It wasn't there.
Cunningham comes over to talk with Brian Billick. Crowd has not been a factor today. They have not been the center of everything the way they were against the Arizona Cardinals last week.
I think moving the speakers 15 yards back or down the sidelines from each side of the bench was a positive mood and took a little bit of it away.
3rd and 1 now from the 28 of the Atlanta Falcons for Randall Cunningham. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Now David Palmer in motion. He will now line up as a running back. Cunningham will throw the football. He completes it, has his first down, has his man. It's Randy Moss who makes his first reception of the second half. Ray Buchanan is there for the tackle. And Randy Moss, playing the role of the official, signals he has the first down. And the clock is running at 3 minutes and 25 seconds left.
An aggressive call. A very aggressive call. You said it, Jeff. They haven't had a catch out of Randy Moss second half. He's going against big play Ray, and they go right after him. They press him off and come back. They go right after him on a 3rd down call.
1st and 10 from the 24. Moss to the right, Carter to the left. Now in motion is the tight end Greg DeLong. The give is to Robert Smith. Smith hitting the hole in a hurry. Tackled at the 20-yard line, a pickup of 4. Travis Hall brings down Robert Smith. Clock now is moving. 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
And the Falcons only have 1 timeout left, and that's certainly a factor too.
Falcons have to get a turnover here at this point, Jeff.
Only thing will save them, I think. I mean, you go down 10, and it's going to be without any timeouts. Hard to get 1 score, let alone 2.
Moss right, Carter left. 2nd and 6 from the 20 of the Falcons. Now DeLong in motion to the near side. Here is the give again to Robert Smith, and Smith this time stacked up by Chuck Smith is there along with William White. 2:18 left. and the Falcons will burn that final timeout. Jeff, regardless of how this shakes down here in the next couple of minutes, what a remarkable season this has been. An unbelievable season, the best in the history of the Atlanta Falcons. And, you know, there's so many memories that you take away from it. So many memories that were mind-boggling at times to see this club grow and get better and persevere through everything from injuries to Chris Chandler to Dan Reeves' bypass surgery. It has been a season of great memories and great fortitude.
Well, just getting to this game, to get in a championship game is and get the taste of what it's like, I think is just huge for this Falcon team, for the organization, for their fans. You know, I just felt a great sense of excitement by the people I ran into last night at the places that I had stopped in and said hello.
The library.
With friends, and NFL threw a heck of a party themselves. Saved dinner, so I won't be turning it in on my expense account.
3rd and 6 now from the 20-yard line. Carter and Moss are split to the right. Now in motion is Greg DeLong. Randall Cunningham will throw. Setting up, buying time, now running out of the pocket, throwing the football, and it's incomplete. So you're going to see Gary Anderson now. And Anderson will attempt the field goal. Randall Cunningham's numbers today, 27 of 40, 244, 2 touchdowns, and he has lost the ball twice. Gary Anderson has hit 2 field goals already today, one from 29, one from 36. During the regular season, the South African native was 35 of 35, and he's made 122 consecutive kicks. His last miss versus Denver, December 15th of 1997. This is from 39 yards out. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is no good. No good. Gary Anderson has missed a field goal for the first time in 2 years.
Ronnie Bradford, tremendous pressure off the edge, it looked like, and also Ray Buchanan. Unbelievable. The season isn't over yet.
So it's not over yet. 2 minutes and 7 seconds are left in this ball game. Falcons trail 27-20. They take over the football at the 29-yard line, and they're not done yet, Jeff.
If I'm the Vikings, I'm saying, you know, Gary Anderson, he doesn't miss, and yet he misses this field goal. What a great effort by the Falcons special teams and their defense.
We're at the 2-minute warning, 2 minutes and 7. No, we're not. Hold it. All right, we are back here. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line for Chris Chandler. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Chandler will throw. Here's the drop, setting up and dumping the football to Kozlowski coming out of the backfield, tackled at the 29-yard line, no gain. Clock now is running. Now we're at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes are left in this game. Minnesota 27, the Falcons 20. You're listening to the NFC Championship game on the home of the Atlanta Falcons. News Radio WGST. Today's game brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Speaking of, do the Falcons need to gamble here, Jeff? 2 minutes left in the game, down 27-20. 2nd and 8 from their 31-yard line.
Yeah, they got to pull all the stops out. I mean, the middle of the field is dangerous because of Orlando 42.
Here, let me help you out.
I forgot his name.
That's
brain
Orlando
lock.
Thomas.
Orlando Thomas. Thank you. And it's been dangerous because of him. But you got to get the ball and push it up the field and not in the short flat.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Chandler out of the shotgun on 2nd and 8 from the 31. Here comes the pressure. Gets it away. It's complete. Terrence Mathis has it. Mathis dives out of bounds and should have enough for a Falcons first down. Run out by Ramos McDonald.
No timeout. Well, they still got the 1 timeout left.
They got 1 timeout left, Jeff, and 1 minute and 54 seconds in which to do something. The season comes down to this. You like that you have a chance. You can't ask for anything more than that to be on the road against a team like the Minnesota Vikings. 1st and 10 from the 40. Again, Chandler out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Chandler setting up, going, has a man out there. It's Ronnie Harris, and Harris is run out of bounds in Minnesota territory down at the 31-yard line. He is fast. It's a pickup of 29 yards.
They lost the sight of him. Their concentration in the zone is on Terrence Mathis, and they lose sight of Ronnie Harris, and he runs a nice little, it's like a little slide out route, and he's wide open.
These Falcons will not go away. it has been the story of the entire season. They hang around and hang around. 1st and 10 from the 31 of Minnesota. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Chandler, shotgun, setting up, looking, firing across the middle, almost intercepted, incomplete. Bad pass.
Bad pass, right. He let it go off his hands. He was mad at himself. He had Harris open, and he could have hit him. Could have hit him down around the 5-yard line. Great protection. 3 plays in a row. Offensive line has stood up. Great protection. They're not getting near him with a 4-man rush.
A minute 42 left in the game. Falcons need a touchdown. 27-20 Vikings. 2nd and 10 from the 31 of Minnesota. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Chandler, shotgun. Here's the snap. Looking. He'll keep the football, stepping up 25, tripping down to the 24-yard line. And Chandler looks like he hurt his ankle, and he is limping, and is going to have to burn the final timeout. That's too bad.
It is.
That's too bad.
But you need him healthy here. You need him healthy here to make a decision, and you're close enough where the timeout doesn't matter with the amount of time left.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 1 from the 22. Jeff, how about this game?
This is they hang around. They've got great resilience, and Gary Anderson doesn't miss, and for him to miss that, they put pressure on at the key time. I mean, this has just been an exciting football team. You got to make some plays now, though. Somebody on offense has got to stand up and get this team into the end zone.
Dan Reeves has been part of these kinds of things before. For the Broncos in Cleveland, Jeff, when Elway did that miracle 98 or 99-yard drive back in the 80s. We'll see if the Falcons can do something almost as thrilling. So it's 3rd and 1 from the 22-yard line. Chandler is still limping, not too seriously, though. 1:27 left. Tim Dwight checks into the ball game. Santiago in motion. 4 receivers now. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson left side. Anderson with some running room, spinning back toward the 15. 1st down Falcons. Clock now inside a minute 19 left in the game. Falcons in their hurry-up offense. A minute 14. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Martin is to the left. 3 receivers to the right, including Mathis, Santiago, and Tim Dwight. Here's Chris Chandler, the drop, wants to throw, going for the touchdown, and it's almost intercepted. Whoa, man. Robert Griffith couldn't hang on to the football, and it's 2nd down now, inside a minute. 57 seconds remain.
The short man, Dwayne Rudd, had the first shot at it. Dwayne Rudd up in the air. He's unable to come down with it, and then as you said, the tip ball, Robert Griffith does not get it.
Oh, Griffith just couldn't hang on to it. As he was diving for it, it was in his hands. Martin to the left. Dwight, Santiago, and Mathis to the right. 2nd and 10 from the 16. 57 seconds are left. Chandler will throw. Setting up. Left side. Looking, throwing. Across the middle. Does he have it? Yes! Touchdown Falcons! Terrence Mathis has caught the ball in the end zone, and the Falcons, with 49 seconds left in the game, have caught a 16-yard touchdown. What a pass from Chandler to Mathis. Now Morton Anderson has to hit the point after.
Well, he is not going to miss. Anderson missed. What a play. What a drive.
Great poise by Chris Chandler. He hung around, he stayed, he threw the ball, and Mathis makes the catch.
Terrence Mathis, what a receiver. Maybe the best ever in Falcon history.
Morton Anderson, the point after attempt. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. Penalty marker is down.
Offsides Minnesota. They penetrated the line of scrimmage and hit one of the Falcon players.
Yes, it will go against Minnesota. And this game is all tied up. This is not just any game. This is the NFC Championship
Prior
game.
to the snap, encroachment, 99 on the defense. We will re-kick, penalize the 5 yards on the kickoff.
Oh, they refuse it. Take a pretty gutsy call to go for 2 here, wouldn't it? But it's been gutsy to come back where they are, and you don't want to waste any opportunity. Stop them. Maybe they give you something as they hastily try to win the game in the last 40-something seconds. Maybe they give you something, give you one more chance. But if not, win it in overtime.
How about this, Jeff? How about
this? This is unreal. I mean, I'm when you started that soliloquy, and I'm saying to myself, he's right. This is it. It's been a great year, but gosh, what are they going to do? How are they going to do anything here? And I'm rolling along with it. And then when he missed that kick, that field goal, holy mackerel.
All right, so Morton Anderson with the point after attempt. 49 seconds are left in the ball game. With Dan Straczynski holding.
There's a little doubt on this Viking team. Here they are at home, and they're getting tied up. There's a little doubt on this Viking team.
All right, Falcons will regroup, rehuddle, and try to get the longest point after attempt in the NFL in 1999. All right, here goes. Dan Straczynski is the holder. Here comes the noise in the Metrodome. Morton Anderson, the kicker. The snap, the kick, it's on the way, it's up, and it is good. So with 49 seconds left in the NFC Championship game, it's Atlanta 27, Minnesota 27. We continue right here. We stay right here, baby.
And they run out of commercials.
Last overtime game in the postseason, Kansas City beat Pittsburgh 27-24 back on January 8th, 1994.
This is as good a game as you'll ever see in the NFL and certainly in postseason playoff play. This is some football game. And it has been, I kept hearing, and I've seen this Minnesota team, this high-powered offense, the ability to score anywhere on the field, so many receivers, a great running back. And it was all starting to come together for him late when they took over. But the Falcon defense hung in there and sort of held them in check and forced them into some field goal situations. And, you know, this is a team, talking about Minnesota, that is, it's like 2-1 in field goals and touchdowns, where I think the Falcons are closer to 3-1. They will settle for a field goal.
So the Falcons 8 plays, 71 yards, 1 minute and 18 seconds on the drive. The 16-yard reception, Mathis, his second touchdown today. What a play. My goodness.
Can't say enough about Chris Chandler.
No, you can't. Today, 22 of 35, 278 and 3 touchdowns.
Big day. Big day sitting in there. Great protection by the O-line on that last drive.
All right, so this thing is not over yet. 49 seconds are left. You give that high-powered offense of Minnesota one more shot here, and Gary Anderson will not miss another field goal.
That's too much to ask for. You're right. You're turning over the defense. 3 timeouts, 49 seconds, a lot of time. You can bet you're going to see it in the air.
Morton Anderson kicking off from right to left across your radio dial. Here comes Morton. The deep man is David Palmer. It's a low kick that bounces at the 5 and bounces out into the back of the end zone. So the Minnesota Vikings get 49 seconds left to try and get the ball in field goal position for Gary Anderson. It'll be marked at the 20-yard line. Falcons ran out to a 7-0 lead, but from there it has been an uphill climb the entire way. With the 2 turnovers in the first half, some penalties, Falcons have just hung around inside the Metrodome, refusing to go away when various times throughout this game, Jeff, it looked like maybe Minnesota was going to bust it open.
Falcons are certainly not outclassed at all. Everybody has said how Minnesota would run away, how they couldn't stop them. They have hung in here with them all day long, and they've done their share of getting the 2 turnovers.
1st and 10 from the 23 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Randall Cunningham, the deep drop. Setting up now, coming out of the pocket, looking. He'll keep the football, 20-25. Now taking it toward the sideline, and he is tripped up at the 27-yard line by Cornelius Bennett. Clock is running now at 37 seconds, and they will burn a timeout here.
That didn't hurt you. 12 seconds and make him use a timeout. And still, he hasn't got a first down.
Listen to how quiet this is.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. This team is not used to this. They are 9-0 at home, and they're not used to being in close games. Now, the Saints game was close because of a 100-yard kickoff return and a 91-yard interception, and it finishes 31-24. The Saints had no offense other than that. So Viking fans, and I don't think this Viking team is used to this. They didn't expect to be tied with only 37 seconds to go. What you want now is a mistake out of them. And Randall Cunningham, he was unwilling to do that. He ran instead of threw the ball.
2nd and 3 from the 27. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right for Cunningham, 1 to the left. Single setback is Ford behind Cunningham.
Yeah, he still has an arm. And it's a rocket arm. Huh? And he's gotten outside today. He's done a good job of escaping pressure today from the Falcons. They've got to him, I think, 1 time today, and that was the sack. That was Randy Fuller's 2nd sack of the year on a corner blitz.
30 seconds are left.
Chuck Smith has a sack also.
Yes.
Would the sack be on the fumble that he calls right before the half?
No. So look, Minnesota is just going to, Jeff, they're going to down the ball here. They're going to down the ball and let the clock run out.
Ooh, boom.
How about
Conservative,
that?
playing for overtime.
Playing for overtime with the NFL's best offense in terms of point production. They'll wait for the OT and let the clock run out. And we have an overtime game here inside the Metrodome. And what do you think about that, big fella?
I will have to get out my overtime book to look and see what happens. I remember doing a Falcon game one time where they went to overtime, and I didn't know exactly what to say about it, and then somebody told me I already played in about 7 of them.
The coin toss determines possession, 15-minute quarters, 3 timeouts per team.
First team
to score wins.
That's postseason overtime rules. I'm glad you knew that. I'm glad you've been boning up on your stuff and knew that, because I do not know the overtime rules.
You know, Jeff, if you're going to have this kind of luck on the road as an honorary captain, I think this is maybe a job for you and for every heartbeat you have left in you.
I felt, here the Minnesota guy, I was really honored to be there. Here the Minnesota players are out there and the Falcon players are out there, and everybody's got a jersey on except me, and I kind of felt out of place.
You never should feel that way.
Carl Lillard didn't know who I was without my number.
I don't believe it. Okay, they are going to toss
man,
the
we're
coin.
going to play an overtime period. It will play like the regular game. We'll start with the first quarter. Now, the first team that scores will win. Each team will receive 3 timeouts. Atlanta, you're the visitors. Give me your choice. He's called heads.
Come on, baby.
It is the tails.
Yeah, we're going to start.
Minnesota has won the toss and will receive. Good luck, man.
So the Vikings win the toss. They'll get the ball first.
Without much continuity on offense as they head at the end of the game. You're looking for every little bit of edge right now in an overtime.
Jeff, it's amazing. It is unbelievable as we sit here and we look at this score right now, 27-27. When you give it, when you think about how the Falcons have had to persevere in this game against so much, it really is a testament to Dan Reeves. It's a testament to the coaching staff and the players and everything this Falcons team has represented in this marvelous regular season of 1998 and now into 1999.
Well, you're right. It comes down to this one overtime, to force this game into overtime, to come from behind. They've been behind by, 13 and 10 points, mostly throughout the game, to come from behind and force an overtime. And then in an overtime, it's somebody making one play. I'm wondering if Minnesota will be as cautious as they have been throughout the regulation, because once again, one play. You make a bad play on offense, and all of a sudden you give them field position, and you're 1 field goal away with probably a stronger leg field goal kicker in Morton Anderson, and another guy, Gary Anderson, who has just as much consistency.
Well, it's 27-27. Stakes can't be any higher than this at this time of year.
Delay the other game, too.
First team to score goes on to Miami in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the networks have got to be loving it. Our radio people have to be loving it. I mean, this is a bonus time right now for everybody who follows their football team.
Falcons now gathering, talking around the 35-yard line as they will be kicking off from right to left across your radio dial. David Palmer will be the deep man for the Falcons. Morton Anderson will kick off.
Palmer is dangerous. He's been he's taken one back all the way this year once. I think it was the Baltimore game. But he is a dangerous returner. The Falcons have held him in check all day long.
Last conference championship overtime game, January 11th, 1987. Denver 23, Cleveland 20. Dan Reeves, the Broncos head coach, with that famous John Elway drive at the old stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. All right, here we go again. Morton Anderson gets ready. Here he comes up to the ball. And Anderson kicks off. He drives it. Palmer will take it 2 yards deep in the end zone. 5, 10, 15, 20. And Palmer is still on his feet, tackled at the 28-yard line. That's where Minnesota will take over the football. It's a return of 30 yards. Randy Fuller on the stop for the Falcons.
Best return he's had all day.
Jeff, when you're calling offensive plays in a situation like this, what is the greatest danger? Being too conservative?
I think in this game it might be right now. They've gotten away from that freewheeling style. Now, the Falcons defense has predicated that a lot. But if you go into nickel and force the Falcons into nickel, you ought to be able to push the ball up the field and get some more man-on-man coverage. And for some reason, the Vikings have been reluctant to do that consistently today.
1st and 10 from the 28. Carter left. Moss is to the right. Randall will throw. Setting up and swinging it out to his fullback. That is Horde. Horde with a little bit of running room. Has enough for a first down. He is out to the 40-yard line. Tackled by Cornelius Bennett. That's a gain of 11.
Bad plays. Cornelius misses the first one. I think it was Booker misses the second tackle. You can't allow this to happen. You can't allow him to move the ball out of the backfield to a guy like Horde and let him pick up a first down.
1st and 10 from the 40 of Minnesota. Matthew Hatchett to the right. Chris Carter also to the right. Randy Moss is to the left. Ford remains in the ball game. Now in motion is the tight end. It's Andrew Glover. Randall running right, trying to set up, being chased. And
yes.
The ball is loose, but it's picked up by an offensive lineman, David Dixon.
He fumbled too.
And he fumbles the football. The Falcons say this time they have it.
They're saying Dixon's down maybe. I don't know. That'll be the question. Fuller's got it. What, he got a Sunday hop there. Big, heavy-set lineman catching a
down
Sunday
by
hop.
contact.
Yeah.
So a lucky break for the Minnesota Vikings. Randall Cunningham was coming out of the pocket, and he lost the football. It was swatted by Lester Archambault. And David Dixon, the right guard, 355-pound of Man Mountain, comes up with the football. Like you said, Jeff, it just took a bounce right into his arm.
The Sunday hop.
What a shame.
Yeah. Almost. That would have been a game breaker right there. Lester Archambault coming up with a big play. Beat that stringer, Lester.
2nd and 6 from the 44. Hatchett to the right. Moss and Carter to the left side. Draw play. Horde runs right into the arms of the waiting Falcon defensive line. Shane Dronette and Travis Hall are there.
Great job by this defense. Forced them into 3rd and 10. Big third down play. Well, every play is just gigantic when you're in overtime, but Falcons have done this today without the blitz. Randall's got some nice stats. He's got some big-time yardage. I bet it's under his yards attempt and yards completion for the season, though.
3rd and 8 from the 42 of Minnesota. Moss to the right. Carter and Hatchett to the right. Ford in the backfield for Randall Cunningham. Cunningham will throw. The drop. Looking. And the ball is tipped, and it is incomplete. So the Falcons defense has done its part. Lester Archambault is the man who got his hand in on that ball. A big series for Archambault. He causes the fumble, and then he also gets his hand on that football on 3rd down.
And good blanket coverage by big play Ray Buchanan. He's been back there around Randy Moss, and so was Cornelius Bennett. They're doing a nice job. Cunningham wants to force it to Moss this time.
Mitch Berger is the punter. He will stand at his 27-yard line. The deep man is Tim Dwight for the Falcons at the 12. Here's the punt. It is a high booming spiral taking Dwight back to the 7. Dwight now trying to turn it to the 10 and tackled at the 15-yard line by Chris Walsh. So the Falcons will take over the football at the 15. A punt of 50 yards and an 8-yard return by Tim Dwight.
Maybe a wrong decision there. I think they could have had that ball in the end zone. That ball was going back pretty deep, and I think on this decision, I understand Dwight make a play. That's what he's been doing this year, but maybe in this game this time you let that one go and get it out to the 20. You get 5 more yards.
All right, so the Falcons get their shot. 1st and 10 from their 15. We're in overtime, NFC Championship game. Falcons 27, Vikings 27. Tony Martin to the right, Mathis to the left. I formation behind Chris Chandler, now an offset I of Kozlowski and also Jamal Anderson. Kozlowski shifts over. Now in motion is O.J. Santiago. Chandler, play action, setting up, throwing to Kozlowski, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line by Robert Griffith, a Pickup of 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
You know, what's been very good today is the Falcons' poise. Down in the end zone, back up to 15. The big end zone crowd waving the towels, making a lot of noise. Falcon poise. I don't think I recall one false start today.
No, none.
Excellent.
Martin Wright, cluster to the left of Santiago, Mathis, and Dwight. This is 2nd and 6 from the 19-yard line for the Falcons. Here's the draw to Jamal Anderson up the middle. Anderson with some running room, and he has enough for a Falcons first down, just shy of the 30-yard line. Tackled by Robert Griffith. Griffith today, a busy man. He has 10 tackles, and the Falcons with a first down. How about that, Jeffrey? 21st first down of the afternoon. Jamal now 17 carries and 51 yards.
Well, they do a nice job inside. Gene Williams and Robbie Tobeck give Jason Six a little bit of ride on the Reading Railroad, and that's where the play goes, right up behind them.
Martin to the right, Mathis to the left. I formation, 1st and 10 from the Falcons' 30-yard line. Mathis now in motion. Here's the give, Jamal Anderson left side, and Anderson is tripped up and brought down at the line of scrimmage by Derek Alexander, the right end.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a real low tackle take Jamal down today. He's very difficult to tackle, but this has been a good tackling Viking team for the most part. And last week they were criticized for their tackling. Foge Fazio, the defense coordinator, said it wasn't very good.
2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. 11 minutes and 2 seconds left in the 5th quarter. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Anderson single setback for Chris Chandler. Chandler will throw. The drop, has time, dumps it across the middle to Jamal. 35, 40, and falls down over the 40-yard line. But, Jeff, he's got enough for a first down. That's a gain of 10, tackled by Bobby Houston.
I think only the 2nd pass today that Jamal has caught. It looked almost...
Believe it or not, 6. He's got 6 receptions today, Jeff, for 31 yards.
Where have I been all game? Jerry Ball almost batted that ball down. No upfield rush by Jerry Ball. Maybe he was the spy looking for the draw, looking for the screen, but a nice little dump off.
Mathis to the right, Martin to the left. Anderson, single setback. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Falcons. Chandler, play action, setting up, has time, going now to Jamal, and it is tipped and incomplete.
He wanted Martin deep. Martin running the fly right down in front of the Viking bench, and Orlando Thomas, the guy's name I couldn't remember a while ago, right over there, coverage it, and then Jerry Ball makes a tap of the ball, and we have security chasing one of the Viking fans. I love this. Good tackle.
Oh, good tackle.
Solid. The other guy needs to come in and finish him off.
Where's
right
Mike
cross.
Curtis when you need him?
You remember that game, huh? Oh.
2nd and 10 from the 41.
And the security guy got up and did a pose. He did a pose.
Everybody's a star now.
A Sterling Sharp pose. Oh, wild.
Falcons charter arrives at gate E17 in the International Concourse. Expected somewhere around 9 o'clock, I would guess, tonight, but now I'm not sure. 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Falcons for Chris Chandler. Crowd coming alive. Now in motion is Tim Dwight. Vikings showing blitz. Chandler, the drop, will throw. Has Terrence Mathis out there, but the pass misses. Mathis was in Vikings territory at the 47-yard line. He had a step on his defender, but the ball was not there. So it's 3rd down, 3rd and 10.
Vikings did a nice job that time, and they've run this defense a lot of times where the safety, Robert Griffith, comes up in the short, flat zone. He's like a linebacker, and he's got more speed than a linebacker. And then the corner drops off. And in this case, that was Ramos McDonald dropping back and covering the deep part of that zone.
Mathis right. Martin left. Ronnie Harris also to the right. Chandler out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10 from the 41 of the Falcons. Chandler in trouble, throwing for Jamal. It's incomplete. Pretty good coverage by the Vikings in their defensive backfield. There was no place to go. And Chandler right now is on his knees. He is hurting right now.
Yeah, I think they've confused Chris twice in a row now with the looks. He thought he was going to get one thing. It looked like one thing, and then it was another. And he came back off coverage, and by then the pocket collapsed.
Dan Straczynski checks into the game. He will punt the ball. He is standing at his 26. David Palmer, the deep man, at his 20. Here's the snap and the punt. It is a high spiral. Palmer calls for a fair catch at the 18-yard line, and that's where they will take over. There's a penalty marker down at around the 40-yard line of the Falcons. Let's see what that call is. It's a 41-yard punt.
Oh, man.
Procedure against the Falcons, so they'll do it again.
Yeah, that was a good punt, too. They gave him a lot of time, and Dan Straczynski took his time and really blasted that. I would make him punt it over.
We have illegal formation on the kicking team. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards and re-kick.
First penalty for the Falcons since the first half.
Nitpicking here. You know, I don't see it. I'm looking at the Fox replay, and they're showing it. I don't see it. I'm counting 7 guys on the line.
Dan Straczynski from his 21-yard line. David Palmer will move up 5 yards. He is standing at his 24. Here's the snap. And Straczynski gets it away. It's a high spiral. Palmer calls for a fair catch at the 26-yard line. So that's an increase of 8 yards for the Minnesota Vikings.
That hurts.
38-yard punt by Dan Straczynski and Randall Cunningham, and the Vikings offense comes out 27-27. We are in overtime for the NFC Championship game. Winner goes to Miami to take on the AFC champion, either the Jets or the Denver Broncos.
That hurts. 5-yard penalty ends up costing 8 yards of field position.
1st and 10 from the 27 for Randall Cunningham and the Vikings. Moss to the right. Hatchett and Carter are to the left. Leroy Horde, single setback now. Carter is in motion. He's coming to the near side right now on 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Here comes the Falcons with a blitz. Cunningham gets the ball away, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Hatchett, but he had to get the ball away in a hurry. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Zone blitz. First time the Falcons have shown it today. Lester Archambault taking Chris Carter out of the slot underneath with William White backing him up. And Randall wisely throws the ball away as he's getting some heat. Little change up for the Falcons right now.
2nd and 10 now from the 27 for Randall Cunningham and the Vikings. Hatchett to the left. Carter and Moss are to the right. Horde remains the single setback. It is quiet here inside the Metrodome. Cunningham will throw, setting up, firing across the middle, and it is complete to Chris Carter. Carter enough for a first down. He stretches out to the 38, tackled by Keith Brooking, a gain of 12.
That's not bad coverage. Randy Fuller is all over Chris Carter, almost interference, trying to tap the ball away. But Chris Carter, a great possession receiver, great hands, great concentration, just reels it in, gets extra yardage.
1st and 10 from the 39. Carter has 6 catches for 66 yards this afternoon.
Remember that drive, I think it was in the second quarter, where he got two or three first downs with catches. You want to avoid that at all costs.
Moss left, Carter right. Double tight end set now. In motion is Greg DeLong. Cunningham looks right, then left, then across the middle, and it is tipped and incomplete. Intended receiver was Greg DeLong. Randall's numbers now 29 of 46, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's fumbled twice.
Yeah, nice job by Cornelius Bennett getting back and getting his hand up and flicking that ball away from DeLong.
2nd and 10 from the 39. Falcons making some personnel changes here. Moss goes left along with Chris Carter. To the right is Hatchett. 2nd and 10 now from the 39. Leroy Horde, single setback behind Randall Cunningham. Cunningham will throw. Here comes the pressure, scrambling, rolling right, and tries to dump it to Horde. It's incomplete. Randall was getting a lot of heat from that Falcons front and ran to the right and was very, very close to Horde. They were like 3 or 4 yards apart, and Randall simply overshot the ball.
Yeah, Rich Brooks has stepped up in this overtime. He's come now with another blitz look, and then he bails out of it. He's come with a zone blitz. He's come with a blitz. So he is really, instead of sitting in that zone, has sort of contained him most of the regulation game, even though that, they got the points and they got 240 yards. He's come and changed up here in overtime, do a good job.
Hatchett right, Moss and Carter left. 3rd and 10 now from the 39 of Minnesota. It's 27-27 in overtime. Here's Randall Cunningham. Here comes the pressure. Has time now going long, far side of the football field, and it is incomplete. Oh, my goodness. Randy Moss went up top with Eugene Robinson in tow. And that ball, Jeff, in and out of the hands of Randy Moss. Scary. Scary. You know what? If the Falcons are able to advance, I think I'm going to remember that play.
Well, Eugene Robinson's involved in it. He's in front of Randy Moss. He's fighting him a little bit for it. Eugene has been all over the field for the Falcons all year long. And once again, I'm looking at a replay, and Eugene gets a hand on it and keeps it away from Randy Moss.
Mitch Berger will punt from his 25. Here it is. It's a high, nasty, booming spiral that Tim Dwight watches, and this will take a Minnesota bounce, and they will down it inside the 10-yard line at the 7. It's a 53-yard punt. Chris Walsh comes up with a football. That's a great punt by Mitch Berger, who is in his third year out of the University of Colorado. He is smashing that ball. So the Falcons are pinned deep here. Ball on the 9-yard line, and the crowd comes alive inside the Metrodome. Mathis right, Martin left. I formation of Kozlowski and Jamal Anderson behind Chris Chandler. It's 1st and 10, 27-27 in overtime. Chandler will throw, setting up, going across the middle. O.J. Santiago has it, and he is down at the 25-yard line. Nice pick. It's a first down for the Falcons. Tackle by the middle linebacker from Minnesota, Pete Barachich. It's a 14-yard gain, and Dan Reeves along the Falcons sidelines is seeing something he has seen before. Close games in conference title games. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line of the Falcons. Mathis in motion now to the near side. Jamal Anderson gets the call straight up the middle, and no go. Nothing to be found in the interior of that Minnesota Vikings defense. Stalin Cullinet with the tackle, the left end. Second-year pro out of Boston College. Clock running at 7 minutes and 34 seconds left here in this overtime period. 27-27. The ball at the 26. 2nd and 8. Martin and Mathis are to the left. That's the near side. I formation behind Chris Chandler. 2nd and 8 from the 26. Kozlowski now in motion to the far side. Chandler will throw. Here comes the blitz. Getting the ball away to Santiago. Makes the catch in territory of the Vikings. And he is down to the 47-yard line. That's a first down. Bobby Houston is there on the coverage. It's a gain of 27. There's your big play, Jeff.
You know, he comes back to Santiago. Santiago had the big fumble early in the game. Twice he's come back to him here in overtime. Knew he was going to get man-on-man on a linebacker. In fact, a backup linebacker. Bobby Houston in the game because McDaniel's hurt. Bursich in the game because McDaniel's hurt. And the other linebacker's hurt. Dixon Edwards, is hurt. Nice throw by Chris Chandler.
Bobby Houston, who is the man in on the coverage for the Vikings, is pointing toward his knee and is grimacing in pain. He is down right now around midfield, and medical folks are attending to him right now. So the Falcons turn the big play, the 27-yarder here, Jeff. They're now in Minnesota territory. And I'll tell you what, with our call there, we were so loud because this facility has become so quiet. You can hear both of our voices shooting across the field, I'm afraid.
Well, you just continually be impressed by Falcon play calling. When they call the play and then they get the execution. A lot of teams would have said, hey, OJ, in a game like this, we're in overtime. He's a second-year guy. He's had a fumble already. But you go back to him, and you go back to him 2 out of 3 times in tight territory.
Houston is being helped off the field right now. He has what appears to be a knee injury.
He has what appears to be being beaten soundly by O.J. Santiago, and I would not say it's going to be an injury. I would never question a player.
1st and 10 from the 48 of the Minnesota Vikings. First team to score goes to Miami. What a game it has been.
They're running out of players on this Minnesota team, especially at linebacker.
1st and 10 from the 48. Falcons continue to huddle. We wait for television to come back.
Keep it away from Robert Griffin. Try to get your coverage once again on the linebackers. They've had some success today. As you said, 6 catches by Jamal earlier today. Santiago now has his 3rd catch of the day. So that's 9 catches between those two guys. And Kozlowski's got a couple also in there. So, you know, threaten these linebackers a little bit more. They are having trouble covering Falcon receivers.
Chandler, 26 of 42, 334, and 3 touchdown passes. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 from the 48 of Minnesota. Martin is to the left. Mathis is to the right. It's an I formation behind Chris Chandler. Now in motion is Terrence Mathis. Vikings are showing blitz. Here's the give. Jamal right side trying to turn it to the outside. Does.
Whoa.
And a nice gain there. Jamal doesn't like the fact that he was hit late. Pushed out of bounds and is screaming at the official about, hey, you can't do that to me. It's a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6 now from the 44. Robert Griffith on the tackle. Chris Chandler is signaling for everybody to hurry and to get back into the huddle as they try to make something happen. The play clock now is at 17 seconds, so they're okay. Martin left. Mathis and Santiago are right. Falcons now 4 wide receivers, 2 right, 2 left. 2nd and 6 from the 44-yard line of Minnesota. Chandler will throw, completes. Terrence Mathis knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line. That's enough for a Falcon first down, pushed out by Corey Fuller. Terrence Mathis with 6 catches on the afternoon. He has a total of 74 yards.
Foge has got to recognize, the defense coordinator in Minnesota, that he's not getting it done. He's not getting back in Chandler's face. Chandler's starting to pick him apart. He can't get there with 4. The Falcons are blocking him. He's got to come with some blitz. They're moving into field goal territory. He has to do something.
Mathis left, Martin right. Offset I formation behind Chris Chandler. It's 1st and 10. 37-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. Chandler will throw, setting up, pumping, now keeping the football, still struggling and running, and he is knocked down at the 31-yard line. A vicious hit by Dwayne Rudd, who tried to take Chandler's skull off. What a nasty hit that was, but Chandler, the good news, is back, and he is up. So it's 2nd and 3 now from the 30-yard line. And field goal range now for Morton Anderson, 48 yards.
You got it.
They are close.
They're very close, and you can run the ball now. You're 2nd and down. You got a 2-down run zone right here.
Anderson's hit one from 53 yards this year. 2nd and 3 from the 30. This is the 8th play of the drive. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Jamal behind Chris Chandler. Here's the give. Jamal Anderson, left side. Jamal, some running room, 25, and down to the 23-yard line. Tackled by Dwayne Rudd. Here come the Falcons. 4 minutes and 49 seconds remain in the overtime.
Outcoached. After the big catch by Santiago, they had to do something. They had to do something to stop the Falcons and try to force a turnover. They sat in this defense, and they've allowed the Falcons to drive to field goal territory.
1st and 10 now at the 22-yard line. Falcons with 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Jamal Anderson gets the call straight up the middle, and he is stopped. Robert Griffith, that man is there again. Robert Griffith has been all over the place today. He has 12 tackles.
Heck of a football player.
He is a tremendous football player, isn't he?
Yep.
Out of San Diego State, 5-year pro. Small man, 5'11", 195 pounds.
He played a dime back, linebacker type of San Diego State, so he had to have coverage skills and hitting skills. He's a tremendous hitter. Played in Saskatchewan in Canada, and they brought him here as a free agent for special teams. All of a sudden, they found themselves an all-pro type starting safety.
Martin and Mathis to the right. 2nd and 10 from the 22 of the Vikings. Here's the give. Jamal right side, and Jamal plunging ahead down to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 1, maybe 2 yards. Derek Alexander is there.
38-yarder.
Here we go, Jeff. Morton Anderson checks into the ballgame. A 38-yard field goal by one of the greatest kickers in the history of the National Football League.
Yes, sirree. And he ain't no Gary Anderson. Come on, nail it.
38 yards.
Nail it.
A chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know they're going to use their timeouts. What a game. What an unbelievable Falcon game. Man, the rest of the country is getting a chance to see this Falcon team, the one we've seen all year long. But what a game. A missed field goal and a made field goal. That's what it comes down to.
In his career, Morton Anderson has had 25 game-deciding kicks. He's made 4 of them in overtime. He stands by himself at the 36-yard line looking at the goalpost and checking it out. Now getting loose, like a golfer taking a few practice swings before he tees it up. All right, here we go. How many yards out? Come on, come on. Morton Anderson for the win. 38-yard field goal by Morton Anderson. The hold, the kick, it's on the way, it's up, and it's going. The Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. The Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. The Falcons have done it. They have done the unthinkable. They have won inside the Metrodome, and the celebration is underway on the field. Look at the Falcons celebrate. Jeff Van Note, it's on to Miami. The Falcons win 30-27.
Unreal. Unreal.
How about that?
What a win.
That is an unbelievable victory, an unbelievable afternoon to come in here to beat the Minnesota Vikings inside the Metrodome 30-27. The great drive from Chris Chandler to take it all the way from the 8-yard line, and Morton knew from the moment he hit it that he had hit it just right. The reaction from Dan Reeves and the Falcons sideline, delirium. Unbelievable, Jeff. It is a remarkable afternoon, an unforgettable moment. The Atlanta Falcons are in the Super Bowl. It is a sign of the apocalypse.
We were packing up in regulation that last 2 minutes.
Jeez. Unbelievable. What an afternoon of football.
Fitting.
The most extraordinary game in the history of the Atlanta Falcons, ladies and gentlemen. An unforgettable afternoon from Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Falcons are going to the Super Bowl, 30-27. The Falcons charter will arrive at E17 in the International Concourse. Our thanks to Kim Anderson, our thanks to Miller Pope, our thanks to Rick Baker for a job well done, gentlemen. Wow. Let's take a break. We'll come back to Minneapolis. You're listening to the NFC champion, home of the Atlanta Falcons, News Radio WGST. Inside the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Atlanta Falcons are on their way to the Super Bowl. 30-27 over the Vikings in overtime today, and there has been a stage erected at midfield here in a very, very quiet Minneapolis Metrodome. Chris Chandler is on the platform along with Jamal Anderson, and Taylor Smith is there. Morton Anderson, we also see big play Ray Buchanan, and the entire Falcon team is in front of that stage right here, right now, and it has been an astonishing afternoon. I hope you have been able to hear the game and enjoy what has been the finest moment of professional football in the history of the Atlanta Falcons, now on their way to the Super Bowl, beating the most prolific scoring machine in the history of the National Football League. Down most of the way, the Falcons were continually climbing uphill, staying in there, hanging around, and finding a way to get it done, and they do, and they now make a trip to Miami. So the Falcons, there's so many things about this ball game you think about. I think clearly you have to think about that drive that forced the overtime where they go 71 yards in 8 plays, 1 minute and 18 seconds. The 16-yard pass from Chris Chandler to Terrence Mathis. It was a great pass, and it was a marvelous catch, and it tied the ball game with 49 seconds left. And, you could almost feel something a little bit different inside this Metrodome. You could almost see it in the football teams as the Falcons just seemed to gather a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. The crowd became more quiet, and the Falcons became a little bit more energized. And again, they win this game today. It is amazing. Dan Reeves doing the Dirty Bird, ladies and gentlemen. He made that promise right here on WGST back around September. He said that if Falcons got to the Super Bowl, that he would be the first one to do the Dirty Bird. And by gosh, he was the first one to do the Dirty Bird after this game. Taking a look at the replay of Morton Anderson as he nails it from 38 yards. He hit it right down the middle of the goalposts. When it comes to Morton Anderson, man, as Jeff Van Note said, Morton Anderson is no Gary Anderson. All right, let's see if we are going to be able to carry the ceremony live from midfield as the commissioner will present the George Halas Trophy to Dan Reeves and the Atlanta Falcons, and we will see if we are able to do that. But we'll bust a few of the of the numbers for you in a while. But right now, Edgar, I'm going to throw back to you. It is an astonishing feeling to sit here inside the Metrodome.
The president of the National Football League, Neil Austrian, who will present the George S. Hallis Trophy for the winner of the National Football Conference to the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, Taylor Smith. Neil?
Terry, first of all, I'd like to thank the Minnesota Vikings and their fans for a truly great season here in the NFL. They were terrific opponents today, and it was one of the great games we've ever seen. Taylor, I know your dad's up there. I know he's looking down on us today. He's got to be awful proud. For the first time in the franchise history, the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. And it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the 14 other clubs in the NFC to give you the George Hallis Trophy, your champions of the NFC Conference. Congratulations.
Thank you, Neil. Hold it up high. Taylor, this is the 34th year of the Atlanta Falcons. What does it feel like? What would you like to say to your dad after 33 years? He's no longer with you, but he's got to be looking down above saying, boy, this is just unbelievable.
Well, Terry, I'll tell you one thing. I really feel like that he's with us. And, since the day that he's died, I think this team has won 22 out of 26 games. And I think he's kind of willing our way to all the way to the Super Bowl, baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Coach Reeves, can I have a word with you?
You bet. Terry.
Congratulations.
Well, thanks. And let me say, first of all, I feel bad. The Vikings had an opportunity. They had a chance to win it. And the Lord shined on us. And I just thank the Lord that He allowed me after 5 weeks of getting an open heart surgery to be here to see this football game. But, I've been on both sides of it. And Denny and them have had a great year, and they had a chance to put us away. And guy hadn't missed a field goal all year. All of a sudden, it's a little wide. So you got to feel fortunate.
Is your heart doctor with you today?
Well, if I can handle this, I can handle anything. Probably the most difficult thing now is I got to do the Dirty Bird downtown Atlanta somewhere.
Let me ask you something. Three times.
Ain't pretty me doing the Dirty Bird.
Well, we're going to get you to do the Dirty Bird in a minute, but 3 times in the AFC, you go to the Super Bowl and you lose. Now you're with the NFC, and now a chance to go back and finally perhaps get that Super Bowl trophy, and perhaps against the Denver Broncos.
Well, we're there. So whoever shows up, we got to be ready to play and take care of what we can do.
Coach, how about give us a little idea of what the Dirty Bird looks like. No, I'd like Coach Reeves.
You can show me.
Okay, show you how, the Dirty Bird.
17 years, baby, wait for this.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, now, Mort.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever believe that your football team could come back from 10 points down in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes remaining, and then you would have to be the one to kick the winning field goal? What? Take us through that. We're going to play it back. Tell us exactly what was happening going through your mind.
They took all the time out, and I just hit it pure, right down the pipe. Right down the pipe. No doubt about that thing. It's just what I've done a lot. I've visualized that thing, and after 17 years, we're going to the Super Bowl. It's unbelievable.
All right, now, you're from Denmark. Say to your fans in Danish, see you in Miami for the Super Bowl.
Vi ses i Miami! Vi NFC Master! Yeah!
Congratulations. Chris, come here. You have to be the comeback kid of the National Football League. Down and out, down and out. 6 different football teams. And yet, finally, Chris, the light is shining on you. You're taking the Atlanta Falcons to Super Bowl 33.
Yeah, I can't even believe it. I don't believe it yet. The way this game went, it was a hard-fought game. The Vikings are as good as any team in the league, and to come in here and beat them the way we did makes it really special. And for myself, it's no more special than anybody else on this football team.
Chris, what kept this team together? 10 points down, and it looked like you were having trouble controlling the football. But finally, 10 points down, you started hitting Santiago with the passes, sideline pass. A couple of post routes were there, and you missed those. The ball slipped out. What happened?
Well, it's like last 2 years. We started out 0-5, and this team really stuck together in the bad times. And I think it's really helped us when the times got good. We never give up, and it's a group of guys that's going to fight you to the end, and that's what we did today.
Okay, good. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with more from the Metrodome.
And that is Terry Bradshaw for the Fox Sports Network right there. We thank also Fox 5 here in Atlanta for the coverage there. We're allowed to break in and take that as the Falcons were awarded the NFC Championship Trophy midfield inside the Metrodome. The huge crowd noise for the Minnesota Viking fans absent as they have left the stadium. The Falcons on the way to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. And right there you heard from head coach Dan Reeves and also Morton Anderson and Chris Chandler there in the midfield of the Metrodome. The Falcons accepting the NFC Championship trophy. What a moment this is for the city of Atlanta and the football fans throughout the city, the state, and the Southeast. Much more to come on our Falcons post-game show. Stay with us. You're listening to the home of the Atlanta Falcons and the Super Bowl bound Atlanta Falcons right here on News Radio